What is up, Nintendo Land? Welcome to Nintendo Open Air Podcast. Hope everyone had a safe and happy Thanksgiving weekend, or a happy last weekend in November if you weren't celebrating. Everyone must everyone must still be stuffed from the holiday meal as the latest Nintendo rumor, yet again, involves food. It seems while you're enjoying your first meal of the day and getting your sugar intake for the week, you may be scanning that cereal box as an amiibo. Has Nintendo now conquered smartphones and now onto cereal bowls? I don't know. We'll give you the two scoops in a bit, but first, let me introduce tonight's panel. We've got all of our regular folks with us. We've got Momo, Z, and our buddy Eric. Of course, the Arcade Bunny is with us. So, how was everyone's Thanksgiving?
Tasty.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably had to run around quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a long ass drive to bring a baby along. But may I mention that bringing the Switch is so much easier than packing up the friggin' Wii U.
Yeah.
The only thing lacking is Smash Brothers, really. Everything else.
And you had a bit of fun with that Nyko dock, too.
Yeah. Well, that's yeah. I guess that was part of Thanksgiving weekend, wasn't it? Yeah, that sucked. Seems like if I don't use it, if I just use it without the HDMI plugged in, it seems fine. But when I have the HDMI plugged in, it gets flaky, it gets weird, and like I'll pull it off the dock and it'll be powered off.
Well,
Like
what's the
that's
point of
not
having it if you don't have the HDMI plugged in, though?
because it's a good little desktop dock for it. Like,
Charger?
now that I have Hulu, right? I have just another screen on my desk, the small screen that I can Star Trek or whatever the hell on.
I see. Yeah.
So I'll just have it running while I'm, doing something else on the computer.
I guess why don't you explain what I'm referring to, because it was an odd little thing where there was a moment with your Nyko dock where you didn't know if the Switch was going to come back to life.
Yeah, I was okay. So I'll tell the story. I charged up all the Joy Cons. I did the firmware updates on all the Joy Cons. I got everything all ready to go for Thanksgiving and the night before, Wednesday night. Then I left the Switch on the Nyko dock to charge, and then I brought everything over to my family's house on Thanksgiving Day, and I busted out, and the Switch just won't turn on. Will not power on at all. Just dead, bricked, seemingly. I plugged it in for.
By the way, that was my first Thanksgiving experience. Was
Maybe
a message from Z saying my system is bricked.
Yeah.
I basically was like, I'm sure I qualified with a might be or something like that, but I was in panic mode. Definitely, I was like, "Are you kidding?" Of course, of all days, like seriously, this is like the one day a year that I kind of look forward to busting out my video games for people, because it's really the only day a year that I have a ton of people to play my games. And it's just become kind of a thing at my family Thanksgiving every year that I bring whatever Nintendo system and we just play the crap out of it, or at least there's a portion of my family that plays the crap out of it. So I was frustrated and disappointed for a while, but after leaving it for maybe a half hour, one of my little cousins came running and he's like, "Dude, it's working." So I see a UI, because I had it out and was just plugged directly into the power supply because I didn't know if the dock was the problem or what. Because I brought a regular dock, not the Nyko dock, just because I already kind of didn't trust the Nyko dock, but now I really don't trust the Nyko dock. But it's too late to return it, and it's still a curiosity. So, and again, it seems fine as long as I'm just using it in desktop mode, which half the time, the majority of the time was kind of how I was using it anyway. And again, if I don't leave it in there to charge or sleep it in there, it's also fine on the monitor. I just, it's kind of like there's some quirks. I got to make sure I switch to my input and then dock the thing right. I have to do everything in the right order. It doesn't work right.
So it's not exactly a perfect replacement for the
absolutely not
Switch dock.
Absolutely, but it's a serviceable replacement for half the price.
Yeah.
and again, I mean, the fact that my Switch comes out powered off though worries me a little bit. But I mean, it otherwise it seems to function adequately. Other than that time, it drained the battery outright. I don't know what happened there. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like my Switch was low and I put it on the charger. My Switch was mostly charged and I just left it on the charger overnight to keep it topped off. And instead it came up dead. So that worries me a bit. But you know what I mean? I still will I'll pop it on the charger. I can play it. I'll plug in the HDMI or not. But I just won't, you know what I mean? I just won't leave it there anymore. But it's still functional. It still does what I need it to do. I can pop it in and play Odyssey on my computer monitor. That's mainly what I got it for. That and having the little desktop functionality so that I could have an extra screen on my desk to watch Hulu or whatever else comes along.
It's nice to have. That's why I picked up the little Switch stand a while back when it came out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's basically kind of the same thing. It's a nice little stand, and now I sometimes will even set my cell phone on there and watch movies on my cell phone, and then put my Bluetooth speaker underneath it, so I've got like a little mini theater, like a Micro Machines theater.
That's awesome.
So when I'm playing Switch, I can watch movies and Netflix, whatever, since I can't watch them on my Switch. But yeah, I had a good time. The kid brought her 2DS over to Grandma's house for Thanksgiving and played a bunch of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 because that's still her favorite thing. She's finally getting to the point where she can beat Dr. Robotnik on her own, which is pretty sweet.
Very nice.
And then I downloaded Gunman Clive for her because the eShop had it on sale for 99 cents.
A little hard for her, I think.
Yeah, I was like, man, she's getting good. She's getting real good at like platforming and stuff. So I was like, maybe she can handle it because like Sonic's got some platforming, like where you have to there's like little blocks that Sonic, raise up.
But right, Sonic, you're not dodging bullets so much.
No, and that's a new concept for her. She didn't get that so much. She understood the concept of it, but she doesn't understand the concept of dodging. That game is probably for gamers, but whatever. I was like, it's 99 cents, and she gets to kill ducks in it. So
kill ducks. That's got a call.
Yeah, there's a little duck in there, that comes up every now and then. I don't know. I really like that game. I figure she'll have this thing for years, so maybe she'll grow into it. I'm still debating whether or not she's too young for Super Mario Brothers 1, because it's a cruel world of one-hit deaths.
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder, when my daughter's old enough, I have old 3DSs. I can just give her one.
Yeah.
But it might be fun. I still have that Zelda new 3DS, the gold one that I never opened. That might be kind of fun. Here you go. And as far as she'll know, it'll be a brand new thing,
Yeah.
Something I just the store yesterday. No, it's 10 years old.
I mean, I originally was like, how awesome would it be if, when my daughter was born, I was like, I could just give her an NES at a certain time and then be like, okay, now I'm going to give her a Super NES. She'll never know these aren't current gen until she goes to school.
That's kind of, I'm going to try to do a little bit of that.
Yeah. It's too hard nowadays. There's so many. She plays, mobile games on the phones, and restaurants have, little tablets that some of them. Chili's has tablets on the table that have mobile games, and she's got her own tablet, so it's different. But she plays Switch a little bit. Like I said, she played Odyssey and she played Mario Kart 8, so she knows other stuff exists. She played Pikmin 3 a lot when she was 3 years old, and had a blast with it. It's hard to figure out when kids are ready for that. I think about the NES era, and I'm like, well, how old were some of those kids playing Mario? It seems I don't know, probably 7 or 8 is probably the best age.
Well, yeah, but here's another thing, and I do remember there were some kids that were just a little too young to get it. Yeah, but they were still in awe of it, right?
Yeah, they're still interested in it. Yeah.
The younger kids would sit around and watch us play. Right, there were a couple kids in the neighborhood that were 4 or maybe 4 years. I don't remember now. It seemed like they were infinitely younger than us, right? But in reality, they were probably only 4 or 5 years younger at the most. But they were just a little too young.
That's a big difference at that time, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
between like 6 and like 11 or whatever. Yeah, is
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, when you got like a grade schooler versus a high schooler, that's,
Mhm.
that can be a big difference then. But now now that we're old, we could date somebody 20 years younger and it's fine.
All right.
But yeah, I think it's cool that like the retro stuff's around now too, because like my daughter doesn't really care if the graphics are like I don't think she sees a difference between like Sonic the Hedgehog and Mario Odyssey. Like it's all the same crap to her. A game's a game.
Yeah,
Like she'll play Galaga and Miss Pac-Man and have just as much fun.
that's my goal. That's what I hope for. I'm gonna take her on a tour, man,
Yeah.
of all the classics, right? Because later, when people refer to this, right, people always refer to the original Legend of Zelda. Or they refer to Pac-Man or Donkey Kong, and it's like it's good if you play these things early, and it's just like then you always just get these references. At least the
Yeah.
references that we want our kids to get. We live in an era now where we live in an era now where there's so many little pocket communities and what have you.
Yeah.
But we've got
Let's
to
indoctrinate them.
Yeah, we've got to implant our mindset on our children, and in the postmodern era, a lot of that is our pop culture.
Please pass down your Nintendo values.
Mm-hmm. And
What
Nintendo
about you,
values,
Eric? What'd you do? Oh, sorry.
I was just saying, Nintendo values are, I think, legitimate values as a company.
Yeah.
Right? There aren't Sony values. There aren't Microsoft values. Well, there are, but right, they're not anything anyone refers to. People refer to Nintendo's values as a company, right? The same way, like Disney or whatever. They're a different. They're in a separate category from your typical corporate entity. But sorry, go ahead.
What were you asking?
So did you do anything cool for Thanksgiving?
No, had to work. And
that's awesome.
You had to work on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I don't know why they had the money services booth open at I know why the grocery store was open, but I don't know why the money services booth was open. That was weird. Because I used to work at a different grocery store, the same chain, and they were closed on Thanksgiving.
Nobody
this one's open.
Nobody hits you up for
so you
money
can buy a
like
pumpkin
family.
pie.
Yeah, nobody hits you up for money like family.
Nobody.
I think that's why.
I know, right? That's why, yeah.
Like, oh, Uncle Bob needs $80. All right, let's go down to the.
Or so you can cash your check and get yourself a nice turkey hungry man dinner and a bottle of scotch.
Right.
Oh, the other thing I wanted to say about Thanksgiving is I think the winner was 1-2 Switch. Even among the people that are used to playing Smash every year.
At your house, okay.
On Switch, yeah, on Thanksgiving. My family Thanksgiving, the winner was 1-2 Switch. Arms got some legitimate time, and they had a good time with that. And of course, Mario Kart always is like the default when nobody can agree with what to play now. Mario Kart.
I'd still like to see, maybe when Nintendo Online service comes, maybe they'll give all their customers, be like, if you buy a full year, we'll give you 1-2 Switch free that you can't use online.
Can you go like month to month on that? Because I thought I already was.
Yeah,
right?
No, it's got like you can get like 1 month for $5, 3 months for like $8, and then a year for $20. I think they got some weird thing. I'm like, everybody's just gonna go 20. I can't imagine that you're gonna be like, I'm just gonna buy 1 month and see what happens. Like, or whatever. I mean,
20 cents for a day.
I guess if you're gonna, maybe if you're going out overseas or something, and I don't know, you could bring your Switch with you. I don't know. But yeah.
It should be universal, right? Should be.
We're getting close. Yeah, I would think so. I would say we're within 90 days of Nintendo having to tell us something.
I think sooner than that. Closer to 6.
I would agree.
Sooner than that. Before the end of December, yeah. So it's within.
I was kind of wondering if we'll get another Direct this year. I haven't heard a lot of hype for Xenoblade, and that comes out. I mean, I know they already did their Direct for that, but that comes out in like a couple days.
I would
Friday, right?
expect. I don't know. Maybe something for Christmas, but I'm kind of thinking after the first of the year.
Yeah.
Do we usually get like a Happy Holidays from Nintendo Direct type thing?
It seems like they usually do something at the end of the year. I don't even know if it's holiday themed, but it seems like they usually do something. But it's like last year, November was kind of their big Switch reveal, and then they did the January thing. So, I almost wonder if they're on a set schedule now, but who knows? Like it used to seem like the like the directs were kind of like random and they just pop up and it'd be like rumored like, oh, there's talk that there might be a direct this week. Now it's just like I almost wonder if they're set like every quarter we have one big direct. But who knows? Do you do anything, Jason? Take your Switch out?
Not really. Just
No?
kind of a regular old day. Yeah.
Oh, lame.
Yeah. I was without the internet, so Splatoon player was my job.
Yeah. Yeah, you could have.
I noticed that
If only
they
you
stopped
downloaded
doing.
Uno.
They've stopped doing. What are they? Street Pass weekends. They used to do those every holiday.
Yeah.
I guess
They've
their
quietly.
last one was like. Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I think it was
Was
this
there
year.
one this year? Yeah, it seems like. But there's so many places that have the relays aren't doing those anymore.
Really? I know. Well, I don't know. I haven't been to a lot of them, but
I think all the good
I
relays
know
are
one of my
gone.
Burger Kings stopped doing it.
I don't know if McDonald's still does it, maybe, but like our Best Buy stopped doing it. No.
Yeah, Best Buy stopped a while ago. So did Home Depot.
But is there really a reason to get street passes anymore?
No.
Yeah, you got 100% that Ninja launcher.
That's true.
I actually got a
Maybe we should just
pass recently.
We should just mail you all of our extra 3DSs. I did too.
Yeah, I haven't bothered to open it to see if there's anyone I perchance knew or anything like that.
I still carry my 3DS everywhere. Oh, what were you saying, Jason?
I was just saying that I just saw the green light. That was it.
Yeah, I had one pop up too. I didn't check it. I'm like, then I gotta open and wait for that thing to load.
Just to play those stupid
games. If you've ever tried to load Netflix, load Netflix on a 3DS, it takes forever to.
Yeah, but in a pinch.
Why don't we have Netflix on the Switch?
In a pinch, I've used it in a pinch.
Yeah. If you were in prison, you would be thankful for that Netflix on the 3DS.
You're in prison.
You listen to the podcast on your 3DS?
You wouldn't have Wi-Fi.
I know.
Yeah, because one time
I didn't
have
that?
my phone with me.
Through the YouTube app?
YouTube app.
That's crazy.
I actually fell asleep. I fell asleep through part of the podcast, but it wasn't your guys' fault. It's because it was like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Sure.
Was that one of the ones you while we were recording it, or?
No, that was.
You hear that, everybody out there? Check us out on 3DS.
Yeah.
And Wii U while you're
hardcore.
Yeah, why isn't
I listen to my Wii U.
It's Switch coming soon.
Yeah, eventually.
Soon.
Man, I want that so bad.
What, Netflix on the Switch?
I still think it would be really awesome.
I read one.
If they just made it like a mobile device and it just had a ton of stuff, like if they had, if you could just carry the tablet around, like an extra cell phone,
like I was reading that article. I think Z posted it about this guy was just raving about the Switch, and I was thinking, yeah, it's got Netflix. I mean, it's got Hulu, but like it doesn't have its own. It doesn't have its own signal. What do you call it? 3G, 4G. It doesn't have a.
Oh yeah, like mobile data. Yeah,
mobile data. Yeah.
You know what? If you really want, just tether it to your phone.
It'll be interesting to see if when it does finally get Netflix, if it'll have the option for downloading.
Look, I haven't done that in a while, but
I doubt it.
They still make you pay for pass-through Wi-Fi through your phone from something else.
Oh yeah, like hotspot.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think so, or mobile tethering.
Wow. So you'd have to pay a lot.
I used to do my 3D. I used to play my 3DS off of a mobile tether.
Yeah, I used to do that on my
I would
phone.
never
Back
do
in the
that.
old days, it was free. It was, it was just kind
Yeah.
of part of the when you paid for the internet service, because not everybody paid for the internet service. So yeah, so I used to tether my DS back in the day. I would be out and about, and I'd leave my Animal Crossing town open for people to get in. It was pretty flaky, but it, occasionally did the job. Occasionally somebody could get in, do something, and then leave without it cutting them off.
When you use mobile hotspot though, doesn't it eat through your data like faster? Like, I guess because it goes through your phone and into the device. And then...
I had a very, very early unlimited data plan back in the day before smartphones.
Oh, okay.
Again, DS era, right? So it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps up Thanksgiving, I'd say.
Well, not Thanksgiving weekend though. Did anyone
Friday?
do any sales?
That's true.
the sales. I stayed away. What'd you do, Mama?
I did not. I mean, I went out and looked. Like I said, I know we were going to kind of talk about this, but there really wasn't a lot of Nintendo deals out there.
Yeah.
I saw a Super NES Classic out in the wild for the first time, and passed on it. But they actually had two of those. I saw the green 2DS. I saw plenty of
I saw
Switches.
a bunch of those at my Target. I saw every color and variety of 2D and 3DS that I've seen announced lately, and then some.
Yeah, I've seen the Pokeball one out there, I guess, too.
Yeah, and then I just saw, I showed you guys those pictures of just stacks and stacks of Switches.
Yeah.
So
and you picked up a Super NES Classic.
I finally buckled and went and showed up at Best Buy at opening on Saturday to get in the stupid line and get a stupid ticket. And they had.
I showed up on Sunday at like 9 o'clock at night, and they still had two left over.
Yeah. Where I was, they were all gone by people in line. But it seemed like they pretty much had a ticket for everybody in line, which was in the ballpark of 100 people, hard to count. But
I still feel like at that price point,
like 100.
It's not as cute at $80 as sometimes you'll see those Genesis consoles and stuff, and some of those are even like $40 and $50, I think. But when you see a Super 60. Nintendo and you're like $80,
the new Atari one that has all the Activision stuff on it, Pitfall and whatever. Have you seen that? I'm so pissed that I bought one of those last now. I think that one's going for like $70.
Yeah, Nintendo's
we're
probably raising the price on those
for 60.
But those pop up on Groupon and stuff for super cheap.
But no, I ended up not buying any. I was really looking for deals. I know 1-2 Switch was on sale a couple places for like $20 or $25, $30, but they're like that was the big Nintendo title to go on sale.
Well, I forget who posted it, but there was a good deal at Office Depot where every $100 gift card you buy for GameStop you get for $80.
Oh yeah, I saw that, which is a weird promotion.
You buy a Switch for like
come in our store and buy a gift card for a different store. Yeah.
But they're obviously making some percentage, but then the $20 off, so people could go get $60 off a Switch or whatever. Smart, very smart. I was thinking about what I could go pick up from GameStop that would be worth doing, but I just there's really
supposedly it's still going on until like December or something.
Yeah, I mean, what would be worth going and spending $100 at GameStop on, and to get your $20 off?
Special edition of Xenoblade.
Well, that's the thing. Is any of the games you get your 20% off already through Best Buy?
Yeah.
So it's got to be something.
The only thing that would be worth it would be a second Switch.
Yeah, hardware.
Well, no, accessories.
A new 2DS XL.
Yeah.
Like you could buy a set of Joy-Cons. That's $80. Throw in something else.
But those were already
it's
like
effectively
60s.
free.
I mean, it's for a gift card, right?
Yeah, so you can buy anything with it.
Buy games.
Yeah.
So you can buy whatever. I'm just saying, if you buy games with it, then you nullify the benefit if you have the Best Buy deal or you get the Amazon. And it's the same deal basically. So now, for someone who doesn't
Accessories, but-
have that deal, then it's a win. Sorry, go ahead, Eric.
Yeah. You're saying you could buy accessories, but they were on sale at Amazon for what, 67?
Yeah, Amazon
Yeah.
had some flash sales on
they're
like the
pretty much-
Joy-Cons and stuff, which is kind of a kick in the balls. But hey,
Yeah,
I
my
mean,
Best Buy had like probably I would say at least 10 or 15 sets of the yellow Joy-Con. And I've seen the red and blue ones everywhere
wow.
too.
yeah, my Best Buy
Um,
had bins of the red and blues,
Yeah.
or just bins, but with all kinds thrown in. But just I saw dozens of each.
I still never see the singles, like the single blue and the single red.
The Amazon sale, if
I
I'm
didn't know
not
they sold
mistaken,
single.
was only on the gray and the red and blue, right?
As I understood, yes.
Oh,
So if
I
you
saw
wanted
it
the
for the
yellow,
gray, yeah.
right?
Yellows weren't on, and oh yeah, the pink and greens still haven't come stateside by themselves.
Or the Mario ones.
Yeah.
So that's another
Which I'm
mini
still. Should Max join us later, I'm going to hit her up and ask what her news is from Play Asia.
Oh yeah.
Because like I've
He's
ordered
like,
from
you gotta wait another
overseas
month.
before, and it's never take nothing's
It's
ever
on
taken
the
me
slow
long.
boat from China, literally. Oh.
Yeah.
uh, I don't know where Play Asia is actually out of. I would think
China.
Japan.
No, I don't know either. Yeah.
Yeah,
would
I don't know. I've noticed on the Pro controller, the little grips for the hands just have like a standard Phillips head, like it's a tiny Phillips head. So I mean, I know the Splatoon controller is
Like
different,
a zero.
and the Xenoblade controller's got some different stuff on the main part of it. But I'm
You
thinking
can
at some
Google
point
around.
they could,
I bet you
they could
somebody's
just
probably just figured out how to just pop those off. I bet you.
yeah. Well, I think you can just unscrew them and pop them
Right.
off, but that's why I said you could just do some like 3D printed ones, and
Well,
get the different colors for your.
Yeah, but I bet you there will be guys posting, putting 3D
yeah.
printed ones up on Amazon for
Oh,
super
I'm
cheap.
sure.
Now, 3D printed ones are one thing, but replacing them with a nice rubbery something with the same feel as what
That's
they've
true.
got,
Yeah.
that could be a real aftermarket thing right there. I would
Yeah.
think. I would buy
If
some.
if they would trust their customers to be able to handle undoing a screw and pulling it off, but
Well, no, but that's the thing is, no, Nintendo wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
These would be unofficial aftermarket
Yeah.
things, of
Unofficial.
course.
they'd be more than likely just to put out some
Nintendo.
stupid rubber sleeve that goes over it,
Yeah,
Exactly.
people.
like
Yeah,
they do with
exactly.
the Joy-Con.
Exactly. No, people would if that's doable, then they'll start showing up on Amazon, and I will totally buy that.
We need to start a Kickstarter on that right now.
Yeah, I do love
But
my Pro
it's up to
controller.
you to actually break out the screwdriver and see if you're crazy or not, because that might not at all take those boxes.
Yeah. I know. What if I undo it and then the whole thing just falls apart?
Voided the warranty.
No. It's got just Nintendo doesn't very often put a user serviceable thing like that on. They usually use like the tri-wings or star-shaped screws or something like that. So I was kind of surprised.
They use the
one.
they use the tri-wings
Yeah,
pretty much exclusively.
I'll figure it out. I'll take one apart one of these days.
Like if you Google Nintendo screwdriver,
oh yeah,
it'll be a tri-wing that comes up.
Well, that's the thing is there's so many, like with the vintage market, there's so many scumbags out there. Now you can reproduce carts and you can reprint labels, and it's gotten so good that now if you want to sell like a big budget, like a big title game like a DuckTales 2 for NES or something, they want you to take it apart and show them the original board so they can verify it's authentic before they're going to bid $200 on it.
Wow.
So yeah, it's like, I don't know if I know I recently sold Die Hard for the NES at my like local shop. I think they gave me like $70 or $80 for it. But they wanted some time with it to verify that it was authentic before they would take it from me, which is smart. It was.
It's a lot for
like
Die Hard. That's nice.
Yeah, it's a really crappy game too. But there's like a weird sub economy of Nintendo games that get played by the angry video game nerds. where if they weren't a super common game to begin with, it'll boost the price up on them.
I think he didn't you link me something. I think I ran across a Total Recall review that might have been Angry Video Game Nerd, but it was somebody just tearing it to pieces. Did anyone ever play the NES Total Recall game?
I've heard horror stories, but I've never played it myself.
No, I recommend that somebody.
No.
I recommend to our listeners, all three of them, that you check out. Check out, and pick your favorite grumpy, person who's does a playthrough of that game and watch. It's not that the game's not that long to play through. Watch the playthrough and decide for yourself how terrible that is.
There's a lot of awfulness out there, but man, I don't even know how I got there. Oh, anyway, screwdrivers, exciting stuff. Our kind of pod. Yeah. Anybody else go out there and get in the mix with the good people of Earth?
Oh, I did complain. I did mention to you guys before. I pretty much bitched to everybody that would listen in line around me about how we were all, becoming part of. Yeah, we were all part of Nintendo's. We were all unpaid members of Nintendo's marketing staff by standing in line waiting for that stupid thing.
The end is near.
Right.
Yeah.
They were like
Well,
the
they
two
were all
guys
just
in
gonna-
line that were looking for the TV that everyone thought were,
They're probably all just gonna scalp it anyway.
I'm not here for a NES, man. What is that thing? Yeah,
Like people are buying, or people are still scalping them. Like I could go into my store and buy one, and I was like, when I got home, I was like, let me look on eBay. I'm like, people are getting a couple $100 out of these things.
Oh,
if I
wow.
could get it online, if I could have gotten one online for $10 or $20 extra, as opposed to having to a month ago, as opposed to
Stand in
having
line.
to
Yeah.
stand in line and hunt around, I probably would have done it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
To me, it just wasn't. I looked at it and I looked at the games.
That was the thing, is I didn't want it that bad. I happened to be up early because the kid had woken me up or whatever, and I was just like, screw it. It's store opens a half hour. All right, I'll get dressed and head over there.
Like I'm not super interested in Star Fox 2, and I have every game for Super Nintendo that I ever want, and I've got my Super NES still hooked up, so there's no good value for me.
It comes. There's no seal on the box, so I very carefully opened it, plugged it in, checked it out. It's cute. I didn't even fire up Star Fox 2. And then I very carefully wrapped everything back up. It's back in the box, and now I could theoretically sell it as.
Put it on eBay for $200. Oh,
yeah. I won't. I'll keep it, but I don't know. I don't know exactly what for, other than maybe I'll show my daughter in a few years and say, hey, this is the miniature version of the second generation. Because, of course, there would be no point if I didn't show her the first one.
Yeah.
So I better get the first one next year, or I'll be even more angry than I was.
We're officially on to Black Friday as a topic, I guess.
Yes.
At this point, I might have hijacked everything.
I thought we were already past Black Friday as a topic.
Was anybody else just kind of disappointed by Nintendo's lack of offerings? Like, I don't know if those really come from retailers or if they come from the manufacturers, but it seems like Nintendo, if you really wanted to get your foot in the door and you wanted to really explode your install base, now would have been the time to do the Mario bundle for $300. Throw in a free game,
or at least
do some kind of crap.
Because the Mario bundle was no deal. You bought the Mario bundle, you were paying full price for every piece in the bundle.
Yeah, there's somebody that I think had posted Target or Toys R Us was super deal, and it was a picture of the Nintendo Switch for $300. And it's
no, it was doorbuster deal.
Doorbuster deal, yeah. It's a doorbuster, a regular price. Yeah, I was just disappointed because the PS4 you could get for $200. I think the Xbox you could get for about $200. So that's competing now with the 3DS range. And then you go and you see the Nintendo Switch for $300. And it's let's look at the Nintendo. Even if you were just an uninformed consumer, you're like, oh, here's Nintendo Switch. Hey, cool, they've got Doom, $60. Let's look at the PS4, which costs now $100 less, and I can get Doom for $15. It just it seems like they kind of wasted a bit of an opportunity, and I don't know if they're just so smug that they think at this point that we don't even have to put it on sale. It's going to sell like hotcakes anyway, and they might be right.
Should have been. They should have added insult to injury and raised the price on Black Friday.
You know what our deal is? We'll even let you pay more to cover the cost of us having to ramp up manufacturing.
I mean,
Wait, so they had an Xbox One for 200.
I think so, or like 250, or I mean,
Xbox One
there's different ones.
So that
there's different hard drive sizes.
That's a $300 discount.
No,
different ones though, because there's like the Xbox, there's the One, there's the S, there's the I think these are S's.
Is the brand new thing that's $500.
And there's a $500 or 500 gig, and there's a 1 terabyte.
The 500 gig Xbox One S, which is the refresh of the original Xbox One, was $189.99 at a few places, I think. And I was tempted, but I just
it's almost worth getting it just so you can watch Netflix.
Yeah, I just exactly. Well, that was the thing. Because to be honest, that was the thing. Is I was looking for a streaming box, and I was seriously. If that had been $190 2 months ago, I would have bought that instead of the Roku box.
Yeah.
Because it's got all that. That's one thing. Because Xbox doesn't have a lot of exclusives. It doesn't have a lot of much of anything. The one thing it does better than any of the other gaming consoles is it has more of the media stuff. It has more channels, more support. It has as much as about as much as an Apple TV or a Roku box or whatever. At least more than a PS3 and a hell of a lot more Nintendo has ever thought about having.
I mean, PS4.
Jason, what were you gonna say?
I would hope it'd have more than a PS3. Yeah, sorry, Jason.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Just going back to this. Let's go back to Black Friday. I was just going to say, this should be Nintendo's holiday, right? I mean, it's all about scarcity, people lining up for stuff, but they've done absolutely nothing other than just having their stuff available to get people lining up. I mean,
is that enough?
But
they've changed their marketing. Now they're like, here we are. There's a ton of them, full price, buy them.
Because
don't forget they had.
Oh, go ahead, Eric.
But don't forget they had that great deal of a 2DS with Ocarina of Time.
Right. Everybody got one of those.
Which I mean, that's the most tempting offer they had, just because I like the color.
This has been their game. They've been playing this game now. As soon as they decided they needed something new and they needed a hit and they needed to get back on their feet, seems like they started playing the scarcity game, right?
Yeah.
The first amiibos, the first round of amiibos, there was a couple rare ones, and that's its own thing. The amiibo thing is its own deal. Because they were just following Disney's lead. That's how Disney has always done with those little Mickey figures, right? They'll have certain ones that are only released at certain locations, like they have certain ones that you can only get at
exclusives,
Yeah, there's an exclusive one. There's one that's exclusive to Disney's hotel in Hawaii. You have to go to the hotel in Hawaii to get it, or pay somebody an inordinate price on eBay. So this isn't without precedent, the amiibo thing. So I forgive Nintendo for amiibo scarcity and those kinds of deals, to a degree. But then the thing with the NES Classic and the Super NES, this is them, and the Switch at launch, right? This was them kind of building this whole thing to this moment, this Christmas season, where it's like, hey, bam, we don't even need a discount. We're just going to drop so much product on you that you can't believe, because it's been so long since you've ever been able to get one of our products without fighting for it, that you're just going to be so excited to be able to get one that you'll pay, retail price will be a deal.
I joked about that, the dramatic over delivery that Reggie had said that they did on the Switch, and I was like, I will say this much for them: I at least saw a Super NES Classic in the wild.
Z saw,
and I didn't line up for it. Yeah, and that's the other thing that's starting to scare me now. I'm starting to get scared that there's still going to be a stack, come a month from now.
Yeah, January 1st.
Yeah,
that worries me a little bit. But this to me says that Nintendo was knowingly playing into scalpers.
Yeah.
Right. Because Nintendo, because that worked to Nintendo's marketing. That, hey, look, we'll give it to you for the price we're asking. Isn't that a deal? I think Nintendo intentionally was feeding scalpers to a degree. You know what I mean? Because people were calling them out on it. It's like, why are you doing this? I mean, even when the stores were doing limit one and whatever, the people have bots, people have multiple accounts, people have ways of getting multiples and then turning around and selling them. And they were so valuable that it was even worth it for somebody who does this kind of thing all the time to only be able to get 3 or 4 or 5 of them. Right? It was still a worthy return on investment, even if we could only get a few. So, like, Nintendo knew they were playing into scalpers with this. They never acknowledged it. People complained about it to them on Twitter and whatever. They just, deaf ear. But I think the dramatic over delivery marketing kind of makes it even more suspicious and more likely that they were doing it intentionally. And I think that's shitty.
Well, he was saying, in all fairness, that they had already dramatically over delivered on Switch at the time when nobody could get one. He was saying that because they played it up for Christmas, like, we don't know if we're going to have enough for Christmas for everybody.
Yeah. That's what he was saying, September-ish.
You know what?
Right.
As soon as they started saying we're not sure, I don't know.
Yeah, that's when you know they're going to have a ton.
That's when I kind of started thinking, oh, this is BS, because I don't. Nintendo never once has admitted they won't have enough.
Yeah,
where they're not going to have enough.
They always say we'll have plenty. It's like last year with the NES. It's like I said, Reggie had some quote that really pissed me off last year. If you want one, you'll be able to get. Anyone who wants one will be able to get one. Yeah, it's like obviously that's so true.
We'll have no. I think it was even. We'll have no problem getting one. I think.
Yeah, as long as you have an eBay account and a credit card.
And
it shouldn't be a problem at all.
Income. Yeah, I can't wait till eBay releases their quarterly earnings and says, "Yeah, the Switch has driven our profits."
I know. Yeah. It could, well, I think Jason was going to mention that there was like a GameStop, which did you get? We didn't get into a whole lot, or we didn't really get into it all. GameStop had this weird thing that they were going to do, where they were going to start a rental service to try to bring in income because they're kind of hurting always. And what it was you could go into the store, you'd pay like $60 a year, and you could rent any of their pre-owned games for as long as you wanted, and then bring them back whenever you wanted. They did that for about a week or two, and then they've canceled that program already because their antiquated computer system couldn't handle it.
So even if you got in on that program before they canceled it, it's still over for you?
They still canceled it. They refunded their customers, and they gave all the customers one free pre-owned game as an apology. But anyway, GameStop was saying that the Nintendo Switch, I guess, has been good for their sales.
Yeah,
probably better for eBay.
Hardware.
Yeah, for their
numbers are up, and they credit the Switch.
Yeah,
and it's funny because. Weren't we just talking second quarter? Weren't they saying that the lack of Switch's availability was causing their financial harm? So now they're saying that we've got Switches. Great.
Reggie say, "You tell them we made you, goddammit." like the Nintendo has really helped us. Please don't kill me, Reginator. Yeah. I mean, it's got to help. It's something. There's not a lot of buzz always in the video game world, especially buzz from like non-gamers or like I feel like the Switch has kind of helped draw in some of these lapsed gamers. Not quite in the same way that the Wii did, where every grandma was buying them. But
you know what? For example, my family Thanksgiving. This is the first time ever that I have a feeling that next year there's going to be more people are going to be bringing Switches. Some of these kids are going to go home and get one.
Guys are going to get a LAN party going.
Yeah, like but right with the Wii U, I never, I was like, we're having a great time with this, we're having a great time with that. There ain't nobody buying one.
I had such bizarre experiences with the Wii U. I at one point worked in an office like on a team of 25 people, and at least 4 or 5 of us had a Wii U. And I'm like, this must be a rarity.
Wow. It has
to be really weird.
Yeah,
I know. I'm like, this is crazy. And they were all left-handed. No.
So that's one of the topics on Jason's list is will the Switch? Well, the Switch did outsell the Wii for the first 10 months, but will it outsell the Wii over?
Well, projection, because we're about 8 months in now, right?
Right.
Okay.
Ish.
Or what is that what
So-
it is? It's already at the Wii's 10 months numbers at 8 months or something like that.
No, they're just. I think what it was is they were just projecting that it would.
So
Yeah.
just projecting out. Okay.
Yeah, surpass the Wii by 20% within 10
Okay.
months.
Well, the good
Okay.
news is
After 10
that Nintendo's sales are based on how many the stores buy, not how many people actually buy them from the stores. So I would say they've got, I say they've got their hype levels up to the point where stores will probably buy them. But if they start stacking up, the stores probably aren't going to want to say, yeah, bring on more of those.
Yeah, like
So-
I should swing by my, local Best Buy sometime,
Just see
if
how
I get
how
the
that stack is doing.
Exactly. If I get the opportunity
Yeah.
a couple times between now and Christmas, I should go check and just see how that stack dwindles.
I remember when they had an igloo full of Wii U's, and that igloo was still there long after the snow had melted. So yeah, like although my Best Buy didn't have a stack of Switches, I mean they had. It seems like they always have 5 or 7. Like it's never like a ton,
Sounds
but
like the
they've
store,
always got
yeah.
some there. Yeah, I'm interested. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna sell. It's the holidays; they're gonna sell a ton, no matter what. But I don't know that it's gonna beat everything else.
Yeah, I don't see how it could beat 100 million Wii's. Like, I don't see
Or
grandmas buying
$190
Switches.
Xbox.
Yeah, I don't see the Switch
Yeah.
surpassing the Wii. Like I said, I don't
No.
really anticipate it's gonna ever surpass the 3DS.
I think it will.
Yeah,
I think it
Yeah.
will. 'Cause I think
If they
multi-
come
I
out
think
with a hardware
multi-console-
refresh.
Yeah, especially if there's a hardware refresh. But I think multi-console ownership per household will be a thing for families with kids or
but that's big for the 3DS too. I mean, like you said, everybody with Animal Crossing or Pokemon had at least 2.
Yeah.
Or 3 or 4 or whatever.
I mean, I could see
Well, it
I
also
could see
depends
myself
if
buying
there's
a
some Switch there.
refresh,
Yeah, I would.
but
That's
I
the
wouldn't
only way
buy
I would buy it.
2.
Yeah, no, that's the only way I would buy it as well. Is it'd have to be some kind of upgrade. Which again, mark my words, I'm convinced that if and when, and I think that will be when, there's a hardware refresh of the Switch, I think it's going to be a 1080 screen, and I think it's going to have this. I think it's going to just basically be the same performance when docked as undocked, and then maybe it may have a few other bells and whistles, or maybe an exclusive game or two. But I think overall, those are going to be the main high points. Is going to be a 1080p, and it'll just have the same capabilities undocked that it now has.
Could there ever be like a special edition, like where the actual system itself was like Zelda Gold or something like that would make you be like, maybe
No way.
Zelda Gold with gold Joy-Con.
You know what? If they sold, if it was bare, oh no, here's the thing though. It would have to be
Triforce
a
on the
gold-
back,
It would have to be a gold Triforce dock. It would have
made
to be
out
a-
of gold.
It would have to be solid gold. No, it would be a gold Triforce dock. It would have to be a gold Switch with gold Joy-Cons. And I am not convinced any of this will ever happen because they didn't release a gold Zelda cartridge. If they really wanted to blow it out of the water, it would have been a gold Breath of the Wild cartridge.
But they did have the Black Friday Breath of the Wild that has a book and a map.
Yeah, no. If it had been if the launch game for the Switch had been a gold Zelda cartridge, that would have tickled the nostalgia bone of millions more than they already have, I believe.
They were probably just happy to get enough on the shelves for launch.
That's true.
Like,
And see,
I feel like that's why we don't see anything other than different colored Joy-Con. I think it's because at this point they're happy just to be able to make the standard case. Like, just get it out there.
That's
fair enough.
That's one good thing about the eShop and digital sales is there's no shortage on that. They can't play the scarcity game with
and we don't know how that's doing. I haven't checked that lately. I know there's a lot of, they did do, I was expecting kind of Nintendo to do like a crazy like Black Friday sale or something. And they basically did like a Cyber Week sale where week WEAK.
well said.
I mean, They did put some stuff. I mean, there's quite a bit. There's like 20 games probably right now that are on
But a
sale.
few
The
bucks
discounts
off
aren't
here and
super.
there.
that you all
Yeah.
A
own.
few bucks off here
Yeah.
and there, and they're all stuff that's like, all
Yeah.
right, but not. I passed on it when it was full price, and I'm
Right.
still passing on it until
Like
it's
Mario Rabbids is like one of the ones, but like that would be one I'd be okay with having physically if I ever got it, because it's not going to stay in the system. I'm not going to pick that one up, I don't think, all the time. The most tempting one to me was Uno. Instead of $10, it's $6.69. Monopoly,
Wait,
which
Uno,
just came
that's
out.
on for Switch?
Yeah, they've got Uno for
Switch.
Switch.
Uno
That's
for
also
Switch?
relatively new.
Yeah, and Monopoly that just came out like last week, I think, is on sale for $26. It's normally $40, which even $27 for Monopoly.
That's a lot.
I was a little tempted. The Mummy Remastered dropped $5, but it's still 15, and I don't think it's worth it. But yeah, there's a ton of stuff, but it's just nothing's really grabbing me. You can get 1-2 Switch for $40 instead of $50.
Still,
Like,
that's
wow.
So I know for now we're expecting premium pricing on all this stuff. Do we expect that trend to continue?
I don't. I mean, I think 1-2 Switch will be the first thing to drop.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it'll be maybe Mario Kart 8.
I think 1-2 Switch will be the
Maybe.
first thing that the first actual game you can get for My Nintendo Gold coins.
I don't know. I don't think they'll give us free anything ever again.
No.
Yeah.
But I could see them bundling it in at some point. Do you think it's possible with the Switch to do a multi-cart? Like,
what do you mean multi-cart?
Speaking like back in the old days when you had like 2 games on one cartridge, like you could do like a 1-2 Switch and
you have
something.
more memory in the cartridge, right? The cartridge costs more. That's the whole Switch tax thing. So you got to bear that in mind. It may not be cost effective to do that, to get the extra memory, unless it's smaller games.
Uno has rocketed to number 12 on the bestsellers list with its discount. Rocket League's still hanging in there, and Elder Scrolls, and all the usual things. That Battle Chef Brigade is in the top 10 as well, which I've heard a little buzz on that.
Always.
I will make one observation about the Uno sale. That is only like $1 higher than actually buying a pack of Uno cards.
It's not a bad deal. That might be one, especially if you're someone like Z who's going to take it to the family thing, or you got people over at the house and everyone's getting smashed and doing shots and playing Uno. It could be fun.
Yeah, you know what? Tabletop mode card games.
Even Monopoly, cool. I don't feel like it'd be horrible. Like the fact that it's so portable makes it not as bad of a deal. Like if you could play Monopoly, and it's like, you remember how the Wii U was promising us that there would be games where you'd set the gamepad down and everybody would have a controller and you'd be gathered around the gamepad. It's like you could do that with the Switch.
You could a little more effectively, but it's all that kind of stuff would be better with 2 or 4 Switches. Right? Yeah. That being said, a lot of those board games, card games, poker, all that stuff, if everybody just had their own Switch, like you could do some neat stuff with traditional card game spin-offs,
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really been inundated yet with all those poker and solitaire crap for Switch.
Think about seriously local multiplayer poker where if you had 3 friends with Switches, you're all at the bar, and you just sit, get a bar table.
Or even online. I think it did say that Uno supports online play as well, if I remember.
Really?
So we could all be playing Uno tonight.
That's true.
Let me see if that's right. Yeah, online. Number of online players, 1 to 4. I don't know if that's friends only, but it does support up to 4 players online. So we could all be getting drunk right now.
An all Uno podcast.
Yeah.
Future.
We're gonna live stream the audio. And the first ever audio Let's Play.
Well, Z, earlier you were saying that even though the Switch doesn't have mobile data, you could use a hotspot to watch Hulu, but I mean, you might as well just
Theoretically.
watch it on your phone instead of.
No, my phone's
You can just watch it on
not
your
as
phone
big as the
instead of.
Switch. That being said, the
Yeah.
Switch isn't a particularly large tablet.
Right.
Um,
Maybe Nintendo can
Yeah.
start offering their own mobile hotspot once they have their online service, and that'll be the
Yeah,
only way you
maybe-
can get cloud saves. We just wouldn't feel right giving you cloud saves unless we knew that you had the ability to save your data wherever you went.
they'll give you cloud saves, but you got to go drive through McDonald's or Starbucks to get
Yeah.
to do it, to use it. Oh, I want to save my game. I got to go to McDonald's.
Cloud Pass. Yeah, like I said, that was one of the things I had posted on Twitter that ruffled my feathers a bit. Was there's a load screen on that Animal Crossing? Did I talk about this last week? Maybe not. Maybe it says
no. Oh, a little
it
bit,
basically
yeah, you
is
did.
one of the load
little
screens. Yeah, it just says like make sure you link your Nintendo Network ID so that you don't. It's very important that you don't lose your save data. I'm just
I have
like
a
it's
friend of
very
mine
important
that's-
on your phone.
I have a friend of mine that's otherwise very smart, and she's very much a Nintendo fan. But every time I like try to friend her on another game, she hasn't figured out that like you can have one account for all these things. It's always like a whole process of a friend code and whatever. Like
Yeah.
like to link her to my Switch, to link her to everything, to link her to Animal Crossing, Pocket Camp.
Maybe she's like Eric and she just keeps making a new account for everything.
Maybe.
I forget what that was. You were trying to add us in. That's true. What were you trying to add you in? Was that Super Mario Run? Eric, the other day.
Oh yeah,
We're like, just link us, and you're like, oh, I said that I didn't have an account. No, but I already did.
Yeah, and then the second time I did it, I said like, I'll link it later, and then it wouldn't let me link it, so I had to like uninstall it and reinstall it.
It's like I think we're pretty savvy with Nintendo and how their crap works, though, and I don't know that a lot of people, it's like one of our Twitter friends was talking about trying to get money for Pocket Camp, and she wished there was an easier way, and I was like, just link your My Nintendo account, and she's like, how do I do that? And I was like, like this is somebody who plays the Nintendo games, has a 3DS. I don't know if she has a Wii U.
Oh yeah, you know what? That being said, I didn't really pay attention. I assumed there was My Nintendo. There was some little sheet that came with my Switch to plugging My Nintendo, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think it asks you right off the bat. I think right off the bat.
Oh, you're right. When you first log in,
if you have a Nintendo account,
yeah, it was pretty hard to miss. I don't know, man.
So, but yeah, that's there's. I'll go for it.
Kind of off topic, but Jason, you said you haven't been to a McDonald's and like you don't know how.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
You just don't like McDonald's?
Yeah, it's not really good food, so I try to avoid it. You know what I mean? Not healthy food.
Yeah, no, totally. If I didn't have one, literally,
you were right the first time. It's not good food.
It's not. Well, in either case, now I admit there are certain things there that it's like, because it's a particular flavor that harkens back to. It's like a nostalgic flavor almost, right?
Right.
Yeah, McDonald's has a very McDonald's taste. Nowhere does a hamburger ever taste like that.
Agreed. And everything like McDonald's, when you go into a McDonald's, it smells. It has that smell of somewhere between a
fly larva.
It's somewhere between a McMuffin and like the French fries. There's some smell that's always in everything McDonald's makes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, point being, for years I avoided it, but now I've got one within smelling distance of the house, and it's terrible.
But Jason, you wouldn't even go there for the relay passes back when.
You don't have to. You can just sit in your car like a creeper.
Yeah, I just did drive-bys.
Yeah, that's true.
Just like on the way home.
Well, did you notice if you go through the drive-through?
I didn't go through the drive-through.
If you go through the drive-through, though, it seems like you won't get it.
No, there was something about the Wi-Fi there. Yeah.
I'm convinced their windows have Wi-Fi blockers on them somewhere.
I know. Me too. Me too. I would always have to walk in or sit in my car in front of it to get the pass. The drive-through wouldn't do it.
I guess
I've never had a problem with the drive-through. Sorry, go ahead.
Just walk in and pretend to use the bathroom.
A very old story. When I played Animal Crossing online for like the first few times, I didn't have Wi-Fi at home, so I actually went to McDonald's and met people through Animal Crossing at McDonald's. So I feel like I've done my time there as far as
Yeah.
You've done your time.
using the Nintendo Network.
Like, I'll have an ice water and a Wi-Fi.
Eric, did you have
No,
did you have the smaller 3DS or the bigger one, the XL?
I had
Both.
I had the XL when it first came out, and then when the small one came out, I bought that, and then I didn't get the new XL because I like the smaller one. Fits in your pocket better.
I think you got the Happy Home Designer one, right?
The small one came out
Yeah.
first.
The white one. Yeah, well, yeah, I did. The small new one, yeah.
And I know that the Wi-Fi on the small one was weaker than on the XL, like noticeably.
Oh, it is? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, and
Yeah.
it was mentioned, it was buried somewhere that it definitely had a little bit better Wi-Fi, but I noticed it on the Street Pass. It would pick up more easily and more quickly, and or at all in some cases, whereas the smaller one didn't.
The only comparison I have is my sister has an XL, but it's a regular XL, not the new XL, and they're about the same for getting Street Passes, but I don't know about the new XL.
I never understood how that worked because my old XL seemed like it was slow as hell, especially like relays. I'd sit in my car. I'd be like, okay, it says it's online, so it's getting the signal. Well, it's like you'd watch the little light blink, just waiting for the actual green one to blink. It's like, come on, what's taking you so long? I'm assuming it has to check with the server. And like, how much can it be to download this? Jesus. And, sometimes it would take forever. Like, hurry, there's a guy looking at me.
Right.
I found it was also dependent on location. Like if you went to McDonald's or something, it seems like it was really slow. But then if you went to Home Depot, you could just like drive by and just without even meaning to get it. And it's like, I have Street Passes.
Home Depot seemed to have like two of them too. Like you would get 6.
They did, yeah.
One,
they had two.
Like
they had two separate. Yeah, Street Pass weekend at Home Depot was the secret thing.
That's right.
Would have been nicer if it's like it bothers me that they didn't actually raise the amount that you could Street Pass until after Street Pass was basically dead.
It is unfortunate.
A very Nintendo move.
Now that it doesn't matter, you can move all you want.
Yeah. Was there another company?
When are they going to kill the 3DS?
Next year.
Another company that went.
Was there another company that was talking about the Switch being good for their profits? I can't remember if you had another one or if it was just GameStop.
No, I'm certain there was another one. I can't remember who though.
Yeah, it was
I think Game had previously said that. The UK company Game,
Nvidia?
I think it said that at one point.
Nvidia,
Nvidia, it's probably been pretty good for.
Nvidia did mention that. That's true, and some other component maker that Nintendo partners with that I had never heard of until I saw the announcement.
Hori. Have you guys seen Have you guys seen the Switch bands?
Switch bands
that they sell as an accessory. They've got Switch. They're like Switch dock band. It's basically like a rubber band that you put on the left side of the tablet and on the right side of the tablet. So when you dock it, it's like a little bumper. So when you put it in the dock, it doesn't scratch your screen.
Get a screen protector, dude.
That's sad.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no excuse not to have one.
Right. I had heard about those coming out for a while, but I just recently have started seeing them places. And was like, oh, that's cute. It's like I could just get my own rubber bands. And then also, speaking of Scratchgate, I guess we'll briefly mention there's now Gapgate.
I haven't checked mine yet, but I know you did, right, Momo?
Yeah, I just looked. It's funny, like it's like you get Switch hypochondria. It's like all these people are like, oh, my Switch is bent. It's like, oh God, is my Switch bent? my Switch dock is caving in. Oh God, is my dock caving in? So like now the newest thing is they're saying that the there's a gap on the case, like where the volume button is.
Rocker. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, oh no,
I see no such gap on mine.
Yeah, I don't either. Like I said, it's interesting. There's been so many things. People just want something to be wrong with their Switch. My
If I'm
left
not
Joy-Con
And
doesn't
you
work.
you have something actually wrong with your Switch.
Yeah,
But don't
but it
care.
still works. But it still works. I don't care.
What's
Yeah.
wrong with it?
My screen has like a slight defect in it, which it's had since day one. That the on the very far extreme left side, there's a little spot on the screen that's bright. It's like,
It's not a dead pixel. Though?
it's not a dead pixel though. It's almost like the
It's a
backlight's not in
blotch.
right. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a white blotch where it shows up basically if there's a black screen, it'll show up kind of orangey in color. But it's just a real small.
And you
If
don't
it's all
notice
dark-
it really when you're playing, right?
No.
If you're playing in a room with no light in it, do you see it like
Yeah.
kind of light on there, or is it just?
Yeah, I mean, it's
when I got my 3DS like refurbished, when they gave it back to me, it has like these two lights on the side that I don't know, they didn't close it right or something, but maybe that's a different issue.
Yeah, this is pretty minor. It's just like a little but I mean, it shows up whether it's a black background or a white background. And like I said, I think something didn't get right with the screen when they built it.
Random
On
point
my
of note
issue, I can only tell if it's an all dark room. What were we gonna say, Z?
about 3DS screens. Were you guys aware? I ran across, there's people on the internet that have cataloged all this. So DS and 3DS screens were not all sourced from the same supplier. And
there's a good 3DS screen and a bad 3DS screen.
Yeah, there's two
TFT
Well, he's saying
and
DS and 3DS.
Yeah, and it was completely random as to which one you would get, and sometimes you would get one with the bad bottom screen but the good top screen, or vice versa.
Yep.
It wouldn't be
There's There's a
that.
video I watched on YouTube one day that's out there. I don't even remember who it was by, but it's basically a girl, and she was like talking about how crazy she is that she had bought like 20 different 3DSs trying to find the perfect combination.
Wow.
And then I think she eventually bought them
returning 19 of them.
Yeah, she eventually bought them on. I think she bought some on eBay. But I think, from what I understand, the new 3DSs all
had the good quality screens, from what I understand.
But yeah, I didn't even realize, and it was just basically some of them were blurrier from angles and stuff like that than the other ones.
You could tell the difference if you knew, and once you saw it, you couldn't unsee it.
Yeah,
totally.
But I think mine just had a defect in the screen on my Switch.
Sorry, I don't like those comparison videos on YouTube. I don't like the comparison videos on YouTube. Like when they compared they were playing Skyrim on a really maxed out PC and then Switch.
Here's Skyrim in 4K and here's Skyrim on a Switch. Yeah.
Well, I don't like it because
it's informative.
Well, because I don't know, it just seems it's misleading. Well, I mean, when they describe it, it's better, but when you look at it just side by side, it looks like the Switch one's better because it's brighter. And I think if you actually saw it in person, you would just see the total.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if you put up the resolution and you get, as long as the video is good enough quality that you can tell, I mean, you can see the difference. Now, the Switch being brighter means it has less realistic lighting. So there's just kind of this ambient brightness to everything on the Switch that isn't there on other consoles because they have more complex lighting. But I mean, when I see
it fits in with a colorful, bright Nintendo.
Yes, it does. And when I see it side by side with another console, I don't. You know what I mean? Okay, it looks different, but to me, it doesn't necessarily look worse, like you're saying.
We're used to putting up with subpar graphics on Nintendo systems.
Well, that's the thing is that, and they're not at this point. They're not really. I mean, we've gotten to the point now where diminishing returns, the Xbox One, or for twice as many teraflops or whatever, you're getting half as much performance gain for each jump. That's just the way it works. So we've gotten to a point now where, even though there's
I mean, there's, I don't know. I played through Doom and I had no
side by side. You don't see all that much of a difference. At least in 10.
Well, to me, it's like when you look at a picture of a sunset versus actually seeing the sunset. It's like, I don't know. Even though there's still screens, even
what do you say? Sorry,
they're both screens. I'm saying like if you were actually in the room looking at a PC monitor running like the full maxed out Skyrim, you could tell a lot better how like it's more detailed and
Well, I don't know.
It's just
Yeah.
side by side on a YouTube video.
The same goes both ways, I guess. But fair enough. I get what you're saying.
If they just changed their tagline to Nintendo Switch, it's good enough. I think it'd be fine. Like I said, I still
take it everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how long, and I mentioned that I think last time on the podcast. Like, how long can they keep like bringing this up? It's like they can. I mean, it's every review for everything. They're like, of course, it doesn't look as good on. But it's like, just shut up. We know that. It's like it's understood. It's inferior technologically to everything else.
Well, they don't need to mention that. It's a case of, and they're starting to get to this point. The reviewers now where they're saying, okay, how does this hold up as the Switch port? What do you lose? We know you lose something.
Yeah.
We're not gonna digress on that part. It's just like, okay, so on the Switch you're losing this, and this. Like that review you sent me over of, or somebody sent me over of the LA Noir comparison. Or maybe I sent it around, but like that one was a good. It bounces through all the consoles, and you get a pretty good understanding of where the Switch sits. And more.
But with that being a game that came out in 2011, the Switch shouldn't have much trouble with it. Although the other consoles did get like a fresh remaster that updated some of the stuff. I think.
And that's the thing is per that video, it looks like you know what I mean. The Switch is visually an upgrade from the PS3.
Yeah. It holds its own,
and it does higher res, and it's all around. It's just the CPU is lacking a little bit, and we knew this. But that I think that's when we see a hardware refresh. Everyone's talking about the Tegra X2, but I think the CPU is what's gotta go first, really.
Yeah, but like I said, I played through Doom, and I think more importantly, especially as Nintendo fans, more importantly than graphics is how does it play? And like Doom played great. Yeah. I had a great time. I could go look at comparison videos and see that it looks a little bit better on the other consoles and and on PC obviously. But
60 frames per second is hard. Yeah. 60 frames a second is a hard one for me to get past a little bit, especially for a shooter, especially from something. But you coming from 60 frame a second shooters, you weren't too bothered by the 30, huh? I mean, we did 30 back in the day. That wasn't an issue.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played a lot of 60 frame shooters. I don't think. I haven't played much shooters, outside of Splatoon, I guess, is a 60 frame sort of shooter.
That's kind of what I was counting. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, before that, maybe GoldenEye. Yeah.
GoldenEye was like what, 15 or?
Yeah, that was probably my last first person. And like I said, I was kind of the thing that held me off on Doom was I was like, man, I don't know if I'm ready to go back to a twin stick shooter, just because I haven't played twin stick shooters on a console since the GameCube had a couple, I think. But it was a great fun time. It's like, as long as the gameplay is there and the controls are good, I'm interested to see will they bring over Fallout or
I think it's open season at this point.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Switch can play was it PUBG? Player Unknown Battleground.
Oh,
because I've heard that's really
I would think
even
of bare bones. It might have to be its own.
If they use somebody else's servers,
it would have to be its own server only because I don't.
But they can do that, and they've demonstrated that with Minecraft. The Minecraft uses Microsoft servers. You have to have a Microsoft login on your Nintendo Switch to play Minecraft online. So if companies want to host servers that was one of the reasons that PlayStation had. Well, now that they've got crossplay, because they've got crossplay now with the Minecraft, and that was part of the thing that PlayStation didn't want anything to do with it. And again, PlayStation's not doing that with Rocket League either.
PUBG is way harder on Minecraft is
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot more people.
Yeah.
But
Fair
yeah, I
enough.
don't know. I think we'll start seeing some stuff come across. I'm happy to even get games from a couple of years ago that we just missed, But it's nice to have something like a Doom that's a year old, and when Wolfenstein comes out, it'll be less than a year old. It'll be
Maybe we'll
nice to
get
just,
Grand Theft Auto.
I guarantee we are. I'm going to say we're going to get it. Yeah, we'll get
Alright.
3.
I'm certain we're going to get a
No.
GTA. I'm certain.
I would be happy, even if they
Fallout.
did it like with the Resident Evil, even if they put out like 2 of the older GTAs or something, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I mean, Switch now, again, if they keep up the momentum, they have enough bang at this point. I think that studios will make custom ports. I mean, they did for FIFA was a custom port, right?
And the thing is,
a bad example, but
those games are for us, like everyone else has already had these games for years, and if they're going to buy them, they're buying them as a double dip. Like, these games are for us. The LA Noirs and the Dooms are for the people who didn't have them before.
Well, no,
and have been on, Nintendo hardware.
There's also those people that, pick up an Xbox or a PlayStation when it's on a Black Friday deal, and they use it for Netflix and Hulu, and occasionally play a game on it, kind of thing. And there's some of those people who've gotten fired back up by the Switch. So I can, you know what I mean? I can see there's got to be there's at least some demographic of gamers that have watched
lapsed
these
gamers.
Games. Yeah, the lapsed gamers that have kind of, or semi-lapsed, that have seen some of these games go by in the past few years, thought about picking them up and didn't, and it's out on Switch now. I got my new Switch. Yeah, why not? I'll pick up Doom since I didn't pick it up. And they, people with enough disposable income that they don't mind that it's $15 on the Xbox they already have.
Yeah, I mean, and those were some of those were like Black Friday deals, but I think normally it's in the 25 to 30 zone, maybe 20.
Well, Max triple dipped on Skyrim, right?
And there's those too.
And at least that one gave you some Nintendo stuff, even if it was just crappy amiibo skin stuff.
Now, it's like Skyrim is something I remember because I'm a PC guy. I do PCs for a living. All my friends are PC guys. So Skyrim's something I remember many years ago. And I remember the previous Elder Scrolls being big news and whatever at the time. And same thing with the older Fallouts. So yeah, to have these kind of things come out, I'm one of those people who's a semi-lapsed gamer who's seen some of these things go by over the years, didn't pick them up at the time, and it's like, Skyrim's tempting.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that they're dipping their toe in with something like Skyrim and not something like Fallout Shelter, the mobile game.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, which they could have tried, they could have gone with. I mean, I'm sure Nintendo's like, no. We want this to be a real console, and it's just powerful enough to be. Again, it's just funny, right? Because it is more powerful than the Wii U, even though it's portable, and it's just a little bit more powerful than last generation by the numbers. In actual practice, kind of not, but you know what I mean.
I think the Wii U is pretty comparable to, even like PS3 and stuff like that. Like it had like the Assassin's Creed games that they weren't. It was the same thing where some of the textures weren't quite as crisp and anti-aliasing and all that.
It did it. I mean, it was on par. But I'm just saying, it was on par basically when those consoles were old and decrepit, right? I mean, they basically finally caught up to the competition at its on its deathbed.
Sort of like this time when it caught up with the competition almost at the time when they all released their newer PlayStation Pro and their Xbox X.
It's weird mid-season hardware refresh stuff though that this time, so it's a different ball game. But fair enough.
I think they've said that the console generations are going to get stretched out longer and longer now. So they can start doing that where they just kind of refresh, but don't necessarily make it a PS5. They just refresh.
Well, they
Don't-
went 6 years from the Wii to the Wii U, but then they only went 5 years from the Wii U to the Switch, right?
It was not even quite 5, was it? Or maybe it was. I thought
But
it was 4 and change. Maybe I'm wrong.
but that might have been different if the Wii U had had more success. I think.
Oh yeah, they would have dragged the Wii U out as long as humanly possible if they could have.
So
They
I was
do
just
that.
saying the Wii U just had its 5-year, by the way, I think in November.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so they killed it off after about 4 years,
Yeah.
which was a short cycle. But again, that was out of necessity. They killed off the Virtual Boy in like a year.
It was either that or listen to their stockholders complain about how there's no money coming in. I don't know.
Yeah, scary
What else?
times there.
What else do we have on the docket for this evening?
So we've been talking about first-person shooters, and of course, we're talking about shooters. We got to mention Splatoon 2, which just
That's
the
true.
updates started rolling out. I think has everyone had to go with the new map that came out Friday?
Yeah, I think it was
Echo Mark?
right around, or
I
was it
mean-
Thanksgiving? Well, yeah, I guess the new map didn't. There was a new update, but then it seems like the map didn't come out till the day later.
Yeah, it was weird because they promised that it'll be the shopping map will be ready for Black Friday, but then it didn't actually launch until Black Friday.
Wait, was it
Yeah.
Arowana Mall? Did you say shopping?
No, it's a Mako Mart, I guess, or
Yeah,
Oh, it's like a.
that's what they're
It's like a
calling it.
market, a
It's like
supermarket
a
or
yeah,
whatever.
it's like a supermarket.
Oh, that's fun.
And I think they've added a couple hairstyles, a ton more clothing.
Yep.
My favorite is the Moist Gilly set. There's a Moist Gilly helmet, suit, and shoes.
You should wear
I've
that
seen.
entire set while
Those-
you're in Snapper Canal.
Yeah, I know, Moist Snapper. They
those were from a some kind of art contest. I believe there were
were they?
several of those. Yeah, someone.
I've seen a lot of cool stuff. It's getting to the point where, like, and I know that Jason's a collectathon type, like myself, when it comes to Splatoon clothing, and it's
Yeah.
like your order slots are all full, and then you see something, and you're like, oh damn it, I kind of wish I had. Well, now what do I want to cancel? It's like
I really need those shoes.
I need to turn this thing off before I see something else that I want.
I've been
um,
purposely doing that. It's like I get my order and it's
Yeah.
like, don't look at any more gear. You
Yeah.
don't-
I do that too.
was cool.
I had some shoes that were like some red shoes that were called something habaneros,
Ooh, haven't
and
seen
like they looked like ruby like moccasins, like red moccasin slippers that weren't necessarily cool, but it was just a new gear, and it had a sub weapon power up, which I favor. But then I saw something else that was like cooler, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm gonna cancel it. I wish you had the ability rearrange your order
Yes.
so you could be like, I want to bump this up. I want this tomorrow instead of 2 days from now.
Like you order a couple of pair of new shoes that aren't that great.
Yeah.
but-
It's too much responsibility to have to remember to log in to pick up that item. Whereas
Yes.
we're a little spoiled. If there's one positive on the Splatoon app, it's like I can literally be standing in front of Spike, order something, or merch rather, sorry, and it's right there, and then be like, okay, now I want to order this as well, and it's right there like instantaneously.
Yep.
I don't know why they didn't just allow that. If you've got the money, why do they care how long we wait for it?
Yeah, I don't know why we
It's just
can't.
more mechanics,
Yeah.
I wish we could do like a bundled order because, like, I've been having times where I'm out of away from Wi-Fi for long periods of time, and it's like I have to
Oh,
really
yeah.
choose. Do I want to keep this or, those shoes are going away in an hour. Do I want those more?
Right.
It hasn't been
Yeah.
too bad because they're just slowly feeding in the new gear, but it would be nice.
Yeah, I've been using the app to pick up new gear as well. And I don't know if this is a new thing or if this has always been a thing, but when stuff comes up in the shops now, if you already have it with a different skill, it gives you the option to buy it with the different skill.
You can buy it
it'll
with
say-
the original skill.
Right. So was that always a thing and I just didn't notice?
No, that's new from the episode.
Okay. Okay, because yeah, I've noticed it'll be like, you already have this gear, but with different skills. Do you want to buy this? It's like, no. There's a lot of Splatoon 1 gear
One more.
that they've added. Sorry.
What?
What?
Oh, are you gonna try to get to level 99 now, Momo, in Splatoon?
No, I'm struggling to get to level 51.
Too?
Yeah.
How is it? Does it get
So-
progressively harder each time? Like,
It just takes more
It's not-
time, more points. So I felt like level 50 was already ridiculous to get to.
Yeah. I agree.
And then like my interest just isn't
But you
there. I
hit
mean,
it
I'm
so fast, though.
It's just
Yeah.
grinding. It's just grinding at this point. And
And
maybe
that's the
we'll-
thing, is it's not even fun. Like now I pop in to play Salmon Run more than anything.
when we get the new ranked mode, that should help with a few levels, I would imagine.
Yeah, maybe, but I've been using those food tickets that I've had built up for like double experience, but it doesn't help when half of your team are squid partiers, which I ran in today. Like I had one match where I think I had like 1,300, and then I had another one where I was like 1,500, and then everyone else on my team was like under 100 points or under 300 points or whatever. And it's like they just sat around and did nothing. I'm like, well, I can't make up for all of that. I don't get. I wish if you're listening and you're a squid partier, why? Like because when I go to block these people, I'll be like, they've got like 250 hours in Splatoon. Why? Why are they squid partying? Like, what do they get out of this?
I wonder what
They
the
can't
average
see my
age of a
reaction.
squid partier is.
Probably less than 12, I would guess.
Hard to
I don't
say.
know.
It's really hard to say.
I don't see
It's
them
hard to
as
say.
much at night, I
Yeah.
guess. I played last night. I actually I was up really late, and I popped in at like 3 a.m. and was like, oh, I'm going to play some Salmon Run. And there were better players on it that hour. They were
Oh.
probably intoxicated, but
Oh no, wait, we don't get the Japanese
no,
version.
they're
server
probably
thing.
just people up. It's nice to be able to do that. I played a little bit of Rocket League as well, and then I finally decided I was going to try doing the ranked mode of Rocket League because I've just been doing the casual, and it took about 10 minutes of me waiting for it to connect. It says looking for somebody that matches your skill level, and like after 5 or 6
way.
minutes, it still couldn't find anybody. So then it said looking at other
You're too
skill
good.
levels. I don't even know what it is. I don't think that's it. I'm sure that's not it. But like after about 10 minutes, I
Well,
just
you were
gave
like-
up. 'Cause I was
Oh,
just
okay.
waiting. Yeah.
I was gonna say you were like top 10, but that was just for number of wins. Your
Yeah, that was the number of
ratio is
wins.
still like just over.
And I actually, so just for fun, I went ahead and grinded so that I could get to first place for a day.
Wow.
So I got up to first place, and then the next day I log in, and the guy who was under me was already 50 games above me. And then I realized something. So I can set up a single player match with a computer on easy, and it will count whatever I do in that towards that number.
Oh, so you can just let her run.
So yeah, because I noticed the thing that was amazing me is
Turn
I've
into Star Wars Battleground.
yeah, it's like I've got like 300 wins or whatever it is, and I've actually got 1 goal per game. Like I've got 350 wins and 350 goals. I noticed the guy who's above me has the same number of wins, but he's got something like 2,500 goals. And I'm like, wow, I find it hard to believe that this guy is scoring 15 or 20 goals a game. That just seems crazy to me. And then I realized, I was like, how is he getting that many goals per game? Is he just that good? I've never even been in a game where the other team had 20 goals. And then I'm like, oh, you know what? I bet he's playing the computer on easy. So that's probably how he's racking them up so quickly as well.
So,
He's just playing one after another
so
just to get his
cheap.
numbers up. So, because I noticed the guy who had the number 1 wins was also the number 1 in goals scored, and it was an insane amount of goal. Like I'm like, we've played about the same number of games, and yet he's scored over 2,000 more goals than I have. So, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this guy is
Wow, that's
amazing and
cheap.
is really scoring 20 goals a game.
No. No way.
consistently. But my win percentage is
ridiculous.
finally above 60%. And my goals per game is averaging 1 goal per game, which I'm happy with. Over 5, because I've had over like 500 games or whatever total, so or whatever it is. So I'm happy with where I'm at, but I'm like, maybe my stuff was a little bit more legitimate than his. I don't know for sure.
Definitely.
It's a very odd
apologize if
thing
I'm
to-
wrong. Yeah, but now I'm like, well, now mine means nothing because
He's not listening.
now I know I could just go in, and I wish there was a way that it would differentiate whether your stuff was played in an actual online with, because I'm actually playing like cross play with PC players and Xbox players and stuff like that. It's like, I feel like I should get some credit for that.
It's like when I found out on Happy Home Designer, you can just throw anything down and they still say, "Great job." Just ruined it for me. The point of this game.
It's about
These guys are happy no matter what. That was one of the games too. That was on sale on Black Friday. What? Oh, Codename Steam.
Oh yeah. Well,
I had
$3.
posted. Yeah, Best Buy had that on sale for like $3 or something, and then like with my discount, it was like $2 and something. I was like, poor Codename Steam. Like they were so big on that, wasn't there? Was there like Amiibo? Yeah, there was like Marth Amiibo functionality.
Yeah.
At a time when you couldn't get Marth Amiibos.
What does Marth do in that game?
The probably just adds Marth to your roster or something.
Yeah, you can play as Marth, which
wow, you can fight Abraham Lincoln.
Like,
when you fight with Abraham Lincoln, you don't.
Yeah.
You fight with Abraham.
I think they expected that to become like a like that was going to be their new franchise. Like, it seems like they had a lot of
Splatoon.
Yeah, like they had a lot of this is another new IP. Maybe it'll come back someday.
I hope not. Do not say that. We never need good names.
It got decent reviews, didn't it? Some people liked it.
It's not a bad
I
game.
don't know.
It disappeared off the face of the earth pretty quickly.
Yeah.
ARMS has had more
Creatively?
love from Nintendo, I think, than that game did, or than from anybody.
I saw somebody had posted they make ARMS mobile. It's probably more of a Japanese thing, but they've got mobile phone charms. You know, because you want to have charms on your phone, and they have the different arms, like the different glove types. They're releasing those, so I think ARMS did a lot better in Japan.
That's still pretty damn obscure. Like, what the hell is that on your phone?
And
that's an ARMS arm.
That's a Screen Man's arm. Yeah.
In Japan, they have stores that are just these machines, like we have, at a front of a supermarket. And there's people that spend hundreds of dollars to get,
the bubble machines.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're $5 a pop, and they'll be and there's just walls of them. It's incredible. Yeah.
It's like me at the crane game,
Yeah.
I'll hit up the crane game and just about any store. If I see something that looks like I might be able to get it, I'll put $1 in and at least play.
This is way off topic here, but I've been seeing an advertisement for a crane game recently. And the best I can tell from it, it's like a mobile game, but when you win things in the game, they actually ship it to you. Like you win plush and stuff in the game, and then they mail it to you from Japan. It's like
this has got to be the greatest, highest quality stuff in the world, I bet.
So you probably pay a few bucks a run or something, and you check it daily, and there's different stuff available in the little.
Somebody was like, "I've got a warehouse full of junk that I cannot sell." And they're like, "I've got an idea."
Is it Animal Crossing amiibo?
Yeah.
No,
you shouldn't have let
it's 3DS badges, man.
You shouldn't have let Eric know about this.
I'm sorry.
I know, right?
Well, hey, Eric, I think you can win Bitcoins that way.
Here's what I will say, Eric. Here's what I will say.
Oh, hell yeah.
With Nintendo, something like this with Nintendo, you have some level of trust that the crane game will at least somehow be fair. There may be a trick to it or whatever, but you know what I mean? With Nintendo, I don't know,
some of those catchers.
Some of them were pretty crappy. No, I admit some of them were pretty. Some of them were designed to make you blow all 5 of your tries trying the same thing over and over. I know, but there was gimmicks to them, there were tricks to them, and whatever. But at the end of the day, I feel like they're going to be a little more fair than
some random app off the internet.
Yeah, that you may or may not ever get your stuff from.
Well, not even that.
Yeah.
I just feel
Yeah.
like the software can be written to make it very, very difficult to maneuver the crane properly. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I feel like
Yeah.
if Nintendo really wants to do right by us, they'll allow us to. They'll put Badge Arcade on Switch and allow us to transfer our badges over.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Say
and
though,
then
Never.
and then an update.
Joy-Con,
Never.
the
Sorry,
Joy-Con
man.
What about?
has a feel like that would be cool for a crane game. I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh,
it'll
yeah,
vibrate while the
true.
crane's moving.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because crane games have
Yeah.
sticks. You're right.
Yeah. Don't give them that idea. Well, they've already got it, I'm sure. That's the last thing we need is. I still think we're going to get some sort of UI update, but maybe not.
Well,
People seem to really. I hear a lot of people saying they really love the simplicity of this, and I'm just like, I just want some. I think the 3DS was plenty simple. Yeah,
3DS was plenty simple. We need something like 3DS. We need some basic folders and resizing. Just basic
Yeah.
stuff. I don't want anything
Yeah.
fancy.
Did
Just
How about themes?
go ahead.
What, Jason?
Did anybody see that about the updates? I think over the next week, not like
no.
this
What
week maybe,
update?
or next week, they're going to
What?
have a lot of updates for the Switch. And
Breaking news.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, I think I did. I think I did hear some blurbs about this. Yeah, and it's some kind of ramp up for Christmas. It seemed like maybe.
Yeah, like they had an
And our-
update schedule, and then they increased it. They added like 2 or 3 more maintenance
Oh.
times.
Oh, really? Well, we'll see.
They just want to
Maybe
make
they'll-
sure that these things are flawless when people open them on Christmas. I guess.
Maybe we'll get a Xenoblade theme to help,
Oh, wouldn't that be
help remind people that Xenoblade's coming.
How much
Yeah.
you want to bet the first free theme we get will be a Sonic theme?
what
It would make sense.
was the first free theme? What was the first free theme on 3DS?
It might have been a
Sonic
Sonic theme.
That might have been Sonic. There's a lot. There's like
There's
what, 3 or
several
4 Sonic?
There's like
it seems
5
like
or
there's at least 3
oh.
Sonics.
I think there were 3 free Sonic themes because there was some original one,
Yeah.
and then there was like a 25th anniversary one, and then they released a new one just recently.
I think these Animal Crossing My Nintendo Rewards have been the best ones yet.
Yeah.
Stuff
What
that
are
you can
the-
use in your Animal Crossing.
those for
Just like
Pocket Camp?
just like money and money and
Yeah.
these are actually useful to me at least. Kind of.
Yeah.
I know Jason saw that there was a
Unfortunately,
sweet
I
new
own a-
Pikachu 3DS theme up,
Yeah, downloaded that. Although,
and that's platinum points too.
yes, it was all platinum. Yeah.
No gold
I earn
here.
a lot of my platinum points from Miitomo, so I can't spend those on.
I wish they would change that because
Yeah,
I know, right?
it's like your points are already worthless. Yeah, because I've got like 7. See, I've actually gotten my bank account down to like 700 coins now,
wow.
but I don't have.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but I don't have any that I can use on Animal Crossing. So I don't know where those points came from, but because I know I don't have that many in
Logging into
Miitomo
Miiverse.
banked.
Yeah, you got your.
Can you? Well, you should be able to use those, right? You can use your
Oh
regular.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I don't know
Right.
where I'm getting my coins from because it's I don't play
Down,
Miitomo. I
you
don't
go
play.
to like
Oh, you know
Isn't it
what
where
though?
you go down if you go to-
I did recently link Mario Run and I linked Fire Emblem.
There you go.
I did the
So
same thing with Animal
So
Crossing.
that's-
I kind of did
yeah.
all those at once.
so
If
that's
you go
kind
to
of a
your
chunk.
file summary, it'll tell you
Yeah,
how
break
many
it
Yeah, it'll
down.
show you.
have. Yeah, it shows the game and where they're from.
But
Anyone
I'm just
check
happy
their-
to be running down. Check your.
Anyone check their points history? Like I'm constantly trying to figure out how many are expiring at the end of the month and all that business.
I thought you just let
No.
yours expire and you don't care.
Oh, but now that they're,
He says that,
I can
though.
actually get 3DS themes and stuff like that. I still try to
Yeah.
spend them. Now that there's actually stuff to spend them on, even though it's kind of crap,
A
I
little
still
bit,
try to
yeah.
spend them.
Yeah, I do too.
Well, I saw
Well, they've
Nintendo's
had
got their
3DS
little holiday thing where they're giving away 500 platinum coins if you check in at one of their locations.
At the
But
mall,
they're not near.
Yeah, better than a box of cereal. It might be worth a road trip, Eric.
10 times better.
Are they not coming? They've got to be coming to a mall near you, I would think. You're in like a major metropolitan
Yeah.
area.
Probably in California.
Yeah.
Probably
But
the same wallet,
they still don't have anything. They still don't have nothing, and I don't think any of my gold's gonna expire. I keep hoping that the Switch will get something.
Switch rewards coming soon.
I know it's been. I mean, they're really redefining what coming soon means because we're on month 8. I think that's been up there. Like,
Yeah.
some of the outfits that they.
I'm pretty sure that was up there before the actual Switch.
Yeah,
I think
some
so.
of the Splatoon
Yeah, it was
stuff
It was.
that they put on the Japanese My Nintendo because they had some. That was their first Switch rewards were for Splatoon 2. Some of the outfits. I've got one of those outfits now in my Splatoon game that must have come with the update, so they must have been giving those to us for free, which is
Ooh.
surprising.
That's nice.
Yeah. So
Wish we
now it
never
can take
really-
even longer.
Or say not that we really saw that many Japanese players, so we would be.
No, we never saw
Jealous
any
of it.
anyway. They're pretty basic looking
Wait a minute.
stuff.
So they say that we don't play against Japanese players. Like it's regional when you play Splatoon. Like we
From what
only
I
play
can
with
tell,
people in
yeah.
North. But whenever you
can
do a
get in.
Splatfest, when you do a Splatfest, I see a lot of Japanese players. So
Well, everybody's
just an
got the
exception
same access to the same keyboard now since it's region free. So you could enter just a bunch of
but
random
I doubt. Yeah,
Japanese
but I doubt
characters.
there's that many people putting Japanese names on.
Oh, there's a lot of
playing
anime
Splatoon.
fans out there.
You'd be surprised,
Probably,
yeah.
My alternate account is in Japanese, so
See?
See?
Does it have a Japanese name?
it's got my name in Japanese.
Okay.
So
It's actually properly spelled and everything?
yeah, I looked it up.
Wow.
So
Look
are
at
you getting are you getting any benefit out of that other than I know you checked out Nico and whatever? Are you seeing any benefit from that at this point? Or you just occasionally go poke in there and shop and
I haven't even checked in there.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I got there are some games that are still Japanese only. If you're a Monster Hunter fan, that would be a big deal. That was another game that Nintendo put on sale pretty good. Is that Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate for 3DS is like $11 or $12. It's like normally a $40 game. That was a pretty.
How do
deep
you
discount.
get a Japanese eShop account? You just set your region to Japan.
Yeah, you just gotta create an
Yeah.
account and tell it you're from Japan, and you could
And
do
then
that,
you
I
can
guess, with
switch it
Europe and
back.
stuff too. No, it's like a separate account that's on my Switch that's just linked to my Switch, and they can share.
Yeah,
the same
could I
games,
just
though.
change my alt account to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
I think you need to do it through a browser on a computer.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, you'll probably have to do it through a PC because it's your actual Nintendo account that's on like, account.nintendo.com or whatever.
Oh, okay. It's not
If-
just
But, yeah.
on
If
Switch.
anybody's curious,
My Nintendo with it, is it going to route me to the Japanese version of the site?
If
Sorry, go
you
ahead,
go on the internet and you type in
No.
how to make a Japanese account for your Switch, there's a
Yes.
billion guides out there.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Okay.
But yeah, the only thing I ever used it for, I downloaded the Nico thing and never have really used it. And then Sonic
So
Forces had a demo out.
it will
I
not.
guess it's more. Go ahead, Jason.
I was just going to say it will not route you to the Japanese side. It was in English, and you can choose from any region, and you actually pick what city you're from. So
Okay. So I guess it's more
Nagasaki.
difficult to get. Is it more difficult to get an Australian Google Play account? Like when Pocket Camp
Probably.
came out.
I don't
early?
know. I don't know how. So, I mean, people were doing that though.
Probably.
Although, would it really be worth it?
I
Now that
think-
you've spent some time with it.
I know if you want to change your Apple account region, you have to have a credit card from that region. Sorry, go ahead,
Yeah.
Jason.
Oh wow.
I was just going to say, since we're already starting to head towards
Okay.
Pocket Camp, yeah, we can go ahead and bring that up.
The Pocket Camp review.
Now we know why all those Australian people that downloaded the game aren't vlogging about it every day.
Yeah.
So,
I like Z's initial review, which was I opened it once and I'll probably never open it again.
Well, he's all about those points. But yeah, I mean, but even if it was the greatest thing in the world, it would be the same story with him. He's just
With
too busy
Z.
to game these days. Yeah.
I am, man. Like, I really want to put my time into Mario. I put some, but that's about all I have time for lately.
Yeah. But it's
Really
I
not
mean,
much.
it's I mean, I don't even know how you rate it. it's like, because I was thinking about that before we started talking tonight, and I was like, is it fun? Nah, not really.
Not really.
It's more
No.
tedious than anything. It's another like
Busy work.
Nintendo chore. Yeah, it's like
Daily maintenance. Yeah.
Mhm.
you're just
Except
like,
you
except
do
for now,
have
it's maintenance every 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't. To me, Mitomo was more compelling because I would actually, you guys would post interesting or goofy or funny stuff.
Yeah,
This
me too.
just is like, okay, now I can add an animal to my camp. Well, I'm so far behind you guys anyway. You guys already have way more animals than me. It's just like, well, what's the point?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I mean, it takes
No,
forever.
you can only have 7. Oh.
Yeah.
I have 2.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I mean, and also I think they monetized it wrong. Like, maybe, I don't know. I guess it's like basically you can spend those tickets on anything. So I guess not really, but it's like, it seems like if you don't want to put money into it, you're just basically grinding all the time, which is, how free to play works. So I guess that's fine, but it's just like, it's not really worth my time. And like, when I was trying to analyze it as best as I could, and I said, even if, like, let's say I spent $1,000 in game, what would I get out of it? Like,
stuff.
a cooler
like
looking
items.
half pipe. Like, there's not really much of an end game other than to have cute stuff, or to build a concentration camp.
Animal Crossing.
or
Animal Crossing never really did have an end game anyway. But yeah, you don't really, even if you spend $1,000, like you said, what would you get?
It's like at the end of the day, there's nothing there's no carrot at the end of the stick that would make me want to keep going. So like, I've noticed today was the first day. It came out about a week ago. Today was the first day that I really kind of started like taking a break, like not really caring if I shake trees as much.
What were you gonna say, Jason?
I was just going to say the only end game is if you had all the upgrades fully maxed.
All the upgrades fully maxed.
Yeah, but then there's still, let's see there, and you can only have 2 at a time as far as for right now anyway.
Right.
So it's like you can have a pool and you can have a half pipe, but you can't have a picnic set and a swing as well, or whatever. It's like you have to pick and choose what you have. So
so once you filled it out, like there's no real motivation, because right, you want to expand, you want to just keep getting bigger. That's how you motivate people to continue playing the game. And
hey, I love you guys, but I'm not going in your fucking camper. Like, I don't care what you got in there. That's too much work. It's like, for me to go and give somebody kudos, and like, it's even more bothersome if I want to look at your entire market box. It only shows me the first 4 items. I have to go to your town. But when you get like a daily task to give like 10 people kudos, you just want to stick a gun in your mouth. It's like, it's like, oh God, here we go. I need to read a book or something while I'm doing this.
Yeah, that was my reward for completing those tasks, was just longer tasks.
Cute essence.
That out. Like, catch 1 fish. Essence. Okay, now catch 3 fish. Now catch a whole ton of fish. Like, no,
these villagers want so much from you. Yeah,
that's your reward for doing it, is you get to have to do more of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it does have the essence of Animal Crossing in it.
In the very basis form of Animal Crossing.
But I think what it lacks, which Nintendo is usually pretty good at integrating, is like, especially with New Leaf, there was very much a social aspect to it. And this, it's like, you can post a screenshot to Twitter, I guess, and say, look what I have. But there's not really any cool, fun. There's no benefit to having friends other than you can buy crap from them or give them kudos and look and see what they have. But everybody's pretty much got the same crap.
Yeah, that's what the most disappointing thing is. You reach level 1, reach level 2, reach level 3. You're unlocking the exact same thing. There's no random, oh, wow, I come across a cool character today.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're just 2 levels higher than me, or whatever.
Yeah, everybody's right now got this pretty much the same animals. And You can kind of pick and choose. Like I'm going after certain animals that might be different than the ones that Jason's going after. But yeah, we're basically in the end going to have them all. Like I wonder, like, is there going to be a level cap? Because I'm also thinking every time you level up, you get 10 free tickets. Well, that's just money. So, like, at some point, they're going to have to cap us so that we can't get any more free tickets, right?
Or just make it take unreasonably long to gain another level.
Well, yeah, and I think they're already doing that. I mean, I'm around level 36 right now, which is insane.
Oh, wow.
Because I really, really was grinding. Like, I think I might have skipped a couple of rotations when I was sleeping. But other than that, it's like I would plan crap out where I'd be like, okay, I'm going to sleep now, so I'll go ahead and do that 8-hour project now. So when I wake up, it'll be done. Like,
I hate to admit,
I had this crap down.
I've been doing that for years on the Supercell games, but
yeah, it's like
Supercell. Oh, it's a mobile game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Supercell, it makes Clash of Clans and a bunch of other stuff, right?
Okay.
But now I think I'm also just now starting to get to the point where it's like I don't have the resource, or I finally have run low enough on resources that I'm like, I don't have any more resources. I don't have enough My Nintendo points to get more resources for free, and I don't want to buy tickets. And if I did, I wouldn't really be getting anything out of it. I guess I don't care.
Yeah,
but it was never really fun.
No.
The fun is just seeing what you can do and what you can't do, but it's like Happy Home Design. It's a dollhouse, like it's a dollhouse simulator.
It's really not a huge upgrade from that Friend Finder browser game that we all played.
Yeah, it's a little more animated, but
yeah,
it doesn't even have free wallpapers.
Then you can make your own though.
Yeah, that's true. You can now take your own screenshots. I mean, it has to walk that delicate line of if it's too much of a game, it's gonna be a real game. If it's not enough of a game, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like people.
Awful.
I don't think it's necessarily gonna be a smash hit, but then I saw like that model Chrissy Teigen was trending, or some of her tweets were trending about the game, where she was just complaining like, oh, the animals are rude and they want you to make all this crap just to be their friend, and this game is pissing me off. And then she's like, that said, I've already spent $120. And I was like, ooh, look how the other half lives.
Yeah, isn't she the one that lost her Switch in a hotel and like?
Maybe I think she posts game stuff quite a bit. She's a Nintendo fan. But I was just like, man, I can't.
I'm sure she's a paid Nintendo fan.
I don't think so. I believe that she I think she just genuinely
be compensated.
No, because she complained too that it's not really. She's like, I want a real Animal Crossing. This isn't a real Animal Crossing. I mean, she was critical too. Like,
all right,
this isn't good enough, Nintendo. So I think she's just, But then I started thinking, like, I never really think about rich people and celebrities. Like, it doesn't take a whole lot of them to put a couple $100 in at a time, and then I know we've had a few friends that have put in like the little $4 welcome pack. I don't know how much it costs to make, but it feels like they must have spent quite a bit of time making the game just to have all those mechanics for what's ultimately not a fun game. Although my 4-year-old loves fishing and catching bugs. She doesn't like talking to the animals and having to fork over the crap, and doesn't really care about, the aspect of actually building stuff. But just walking around, it's easier to do that, I guess.
Suddenly I have an idea of how you've done all this grinding. It's like,
just hand the phone over to her. Like, all right, get me 10 of those green ones. Yeah.
And no dinner until you do.
Daddy needs 15 yellow perch. Yeah. The yellow butterfly, honey. No. I let her play it one night. Like, I'm always afraid to hand over my devices to her because I don't want her to think that she's going to get them every time. Because at a certain point, if you
that'd be funny.
If you let her play too much Switch, she's going to think that's her Switch. Like,
that'd be funny if she bought like a bunch of Leaf tickets as an in-app purchase by accident.
Well, she can't because I always unlink my credit
turned them
card
off?
from my stuff. Yeah.
Just like Max. Huh?
But I did. This is a real off topic. So when I just recently got a new cell phone and I saved my old cell phone, and I was like, maybe I can download some games for her, so that she can play. Like I was thinking, like maybe she'd
offline?
like to play like Pokemon Go. Yeah, that's the other thing. It doesn't have mobile data though, so she can't play stuff like Pokemon Go. But I was like, I could get the
Wi-Fi,
Animal
dude.
Crossing game on there for her, and she could play
Yeah.
that
That's
over
actually-
Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Pokemon Go for Wi-Fi though isn't really very good because you have to be somewhere that has Wi-Fi. But yeah, Animal Crossing would be
That
fun.
have Pokestops nearby. And
So I
Wi-Fi.
created a Google email for her, and then it was like it asked your age.
hmm
So I was just honest and like set it up, and it's like, oh, is your parent setting
Mhm.
this up? And I'm like,
It's like,
yeah. It's like, what's your parents' email address? And I put that in there,
Oh.
and then it's like, we now need to charge you 30 cents for allowing you to link your account to her account. And I'm just like, I should have just said she was 18, and I just deleted it. I was like,
I didn't know they let you do that. I thought they were.
Yeah, well,
I thought they would just say.
It's not. No, it's not. It's not. And it's just the fact that it's anything.
Yeah.
Because somebody you're
I'm
really
surprised they let you do that though.
Yeah, because you
I
can
thought they would
do
just
it
say
for
like, oh, you have
underage.
to be 13.
No, it said like once you turn 13, you can have this account for yourself. And unlink it from your parents' profile. But
Wow.
so there's a little tip
like if
for
you
you if
try
you
to
ever
set
have a
up a
spare cell
Facebook-
phone. Also,
But
every
Facebook will say,
Gmail
like,
address
no,
is
you
taken.
can't have this. You had to have like 20 numbers in there.
Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe I'll let her play around. Luckily she hasn't like requested to play it. Like she always does this thing where she'll be like, "Hey, remember that game you have that has the thing?" And then it's
Remember
like,
Snapchat?
yeah, she does. Yeah, she hasn't even really. I downloaded that again. And she doesn't even really care too much. We messed around with it one day, and she made a couple goofy faces, and then was done.
Nintendo has a Snapchat account, but I don't think I've ever seen them ever post anything.
Yeah,
ever.
but would you really want them to?
True. Yeah, just to see what they would do.
Miyamoto's penis.
I would want to see. Captures from the last night of Miiverse.
Yeah.
Captures from what?
The last night of Miiverse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Why don't you make a collage out of
That would've been
that? By the way, I did get my Miiverse email this week. I don't know if you guys have checked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got mine.
But I got my little stuff. Meh.
I know.
It is.
Eric's comments and all the
It would have been nice to have
that
the
would
comments.
follow would have been nice. Yeah.
Yeah, or even I looked on my cell phone, so I haven't looked on a PC yet. But like, it's pretty basic. Like to me, it just basically gave me the JPEGs for all my screenshots.
Yeah, that makes
There
it not
should
as
be
good.
there should be some sort of document file.
Yeah, one of my I had
something
retweeted
there.
one of my Twitter friends basically made his Miiverse on a website. That's basically like looking at his Miiverse, and it looks like his Miiverse account. Like
That's
just
cute.
Looking through all his
Nice.
stuff. I'm like, wow, how did you put this together? He's like, Nintendo already put everything together. I just popped it on my website. I'm like, oh, all right. Tech savvy
Yeah,
kids.
it's true. I never really thought to
Whippersnappers.
do that. If you just saved a bunch of if you just saved the actual web pages and then captured all the files and whatever, that's true.
Well, there were some people that were talking about archiving Miiverse when it was still up. That they were going to try to archive like every post, but I don't know exactly how you do that.
Web crawler.
Unless you visit everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's right. What it does is it just scans the page for links, follows all the links, and it just kind of does that until it's covered the whole site.
Scary.
Yeah, it's creepy.
That's the reason why deleted tweets are never really deleted tweets.
That's the reason why our podcast gets views.
That's true. Thank you, web crawler. No. So I guess nobody's really in love. I don't think Eric spent a ton of time with the Pocket Camp yet, right? You seem like you haven't been super active in it.
No, I just played it in the beginning to link my account. I was kind of afraid to get too deep into it because then I'd be more
I think
tempted
it's
to buy weak
safe.
tickets.
I think you won't
But I
be
mean-
tempted.
Yeah, and I think it's also safe
But
to
I mean, the
just
way you-
not bother. Well, no, it's not. You got to get your 900 platinum coins and then just walk away.
Yeah.
If you played
But
it
what
for
do you
one
get?
day,
So
you got the full experience.
Right. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
If you played it for an hour,
you get 900. So you get like 300 for linking your account, and then
300
You
for
get,
Ability
yeah, it's
for
300 for linking your
linking
account,
Twitter.
300 for Facebook, 300 for Twitter. Yeah. So
oh, okay. Yeah, I just
That's
gotta do
like-
Facebook and
that's
Twitter
like buying 10 boxes of cereal, Eric.
Yeah.
It's, yeah,
Fine.
18 boxes.
Oh yeah, 18.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right.
I know good at
Yeah.
math. But
Oh,
yeah.
speaking of which, I got ripped off on one of those boxes. Like I entered the code and it said this code has already been used, and I was like, I'm gonna call Nintendo and see if they'll
Where'd
just
the
give me
code was?
those.
Code
They'll tell you to call post.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's nothing
They
to
told
do
me to call
with
post.
it.
Oh.
And
I'll
then
call
ask
post,
for their
and they'll be like-
supervisor and say you're getting the runaround. Really get in their face about it. Maybe
Yeah,
they'll
see,
give
how
you
much
100 My
effort do
Nintendo points.
I was gonna say, yeah. How much effort do you think it would take? Because
I know.
and would anyone
Just
even
forget
do
it.
it? It's like if you were to call up Nintendo and say, I didn't get my 50 My Nintendo Platinum points, they probably just give you like 500.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. I was thinking they're so worthless. I think they would just throw me a bone and say, "Okay, here's your 50."
They're like, are
Here
you?
you
Yeah.
go.
The
Like-
problem is they have to take
10 gold
your problem seriously when you call.
Yeah,
They can't, even though they're really rolling their eyes.
You just have to produce a
And-
receipt of your
yeah.
purchase of the cereal, and
And if they knew
Oh,
what the
no.
points really
Yeah.
were, they'd care even less. If that's possible.
I know.
But yeah, so that's Pocket Camp as far as I can tell. You know, some people are. It's definitely been in my Twitter feed quite a bit this week, but I don't know how much longer it's gonna go. It's it's a
But level
thing.
36, that's impressive.
I do have the one-
It's sad.
I
Sorry,
have
good.
one other complaint about Pocket Camp, and
All right.
there's no connections to your other Nintendo mobile apps like Fire Emblem Heroes or Miitomo.
Oh
Fire
yeah.
Emblem Heroes didn't
only
seem
Twitter.
to have any connection to anything either. If Fire Emblem Heroes, I can only add a friend via friend code. Is that the
Well, the
case?
thing it does is it does link to your like Switch though.
Oh, okay.
Because I have people that
does?
I'm not friends with on my Wii U or 3DS that I'm friends with in Pocket Camp, and it's suggested them as friends in my Switch.
Yeah.
Wait,
It
so
seemed to
those
work the
friends-
same way as the Switch did.
Yeah, with me
Wait,
because
but-
of how it linked me Tomo and stuff.
But Mama,
Yeah.
those friends, you weren't friends with them on anything else? Like you weren't friends
No.
with them on Miitomo or
Nope.
Fire Emblem or
These just
Ah,
these just
okay.
randos that I've picked up, friends of friends on Twitter and crap like that.
oh, okay.
Although whatever, I've had a few people add me recently that I don't know who they are. I'll just be like, oh, you played Splatoon, you played Rocket League with this person. It's like, well, since there's not really a way
someone would
we can communicate, so goodbye. Oh.
whenever someone would friend request me on Miitomo, I would always add them, and I'm kind of regretting it now because there's like all these trash posts. I'm just like, wow, why am I?
Why are you
friends
logging
with
into
this
Miitomo?
person?
Oh.
I'm still getting the platinum points.
That you can only use in Miitomo?
Actually, just Miitomo. Yeah.
Or I guess
Then
you can
buy
use them for wallpaper.
more tickets.
Yeah.
Wallpaper too. Yeah.
I'm strongly considering getting rid of Miitomo again. Like I haven't logged into it really since Pocket Camp came out. It's I can't believe it's been out for over a year now, right? Like
Yeah.
like
Year and a half almost.
I don't know what that user base is like.
It feels
Welcome,
like more
Max.
than-
Oh.
Hi, Max.
Hello.
So Max, pop in.
We just did a review of Pocket Camp.
Yeah. Max has been playing
Pretty
Pocket
much
Camp a little bit.
trashed it.
As our mobile gamer and our Skyrimmer. What did you think of Pocket Camp, Max? Now that you've been away from our conversation and are completely unbiased, let's hear your honest appraisal of Pocket Camp.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we came up with as well.
Yeah, that's better.
Max got
That's
too
better
big a
than what we
laugh
came
out of
up with.
Skyrimer. Sorry, go ahead, Eric.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying that it's okay. That's a lot better than what we were saying. But that's good. Though.
Kind of. I mean, it gets a meh out of meh. It's like
It makes me want another Animal Crossing game on the Switch.
yeah.
Without tap control, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know though. I do kind of. That's the one thing I like. I like being able to catch fish and bugs and stuff by just being like now, and I'm like, here you go now.
I kind of like
That's part of what makes it too easy. Is it's a slot machine in that you don't necessarily get the reward you want, but there's no skill in actually getting something.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not memorizing the fish shadows to know which fish is which. I mean, I know the small, medium, and the large, but I'll just like with the new leaf, I'll never understand which ones are like, because you always think like, ooh, that shadow looks bigger than the other one. You're like, no, it's just another olive flounder.
Well, in Pocket Camp, you've got to catch all the fish that are available because those animals, they need them.
Yeah, and every now and then it does kind of peeve me too that they ask you for a rare crap. Every now and then they're just like, "Hey, I think you owe me a horn dynastid."
Yeah. I have one.
Do they ever ask for the rare items like the koi?
No, they've never asked me for the blowfish. They've never asked me for a koi. I think some of those are probably either they're waiting until you get to a higher level, or probably they just expect that you're going to sell that crap for money. Because I think the koi sells for like 4,000, and if I list it, I think it allows me to list it for like up to like 40,000.
Oh wow.
Which no one's ever going to buy. I keep seeing a bunch of like people that I like random people I've picked up as friends, and like you look at their box and it's all like a rock bass for $25,000. And I'm like, no one's ever going to buy that crap from you. I've got 18 of those things. I did catch a weird bug the other night, though, that I posted on my Twitter, like a rare jewel beetle.
Yeah, I got one.
I had never seen that one before. I've caught like the emperor butterfly, the blue butterfly.
I've not seen either of those. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
I've got one angler fish, the little football fish, whatever. And then I've got like a couple koi, and I've got that's about it.
I caught some red snapper, too, I think.
Yeah, I've got red snapper, and I've got the Miyama stag or whatever.
Oh.
I think I've only got one of those. But meh. It's like you can sell those for money, which is completely worthless. That's the other thing that bothers me. I could really go off on this game. So you have to spend your money in the game, your in-game currency, to build crap, but it also requires a bunch of materials as well. So it's just like, it just takes everything. I almost feel like instead of doing the stupid leaf tickets, they could have made more money if they actually just sold you materials. Like if they just got rid of the dumb leaf tickets altogether and were just like, buy a $3 pack that includes, wood and cotton, and I've got a ton of paper that goes nowhere. Like I think I've maybe built one thing that uses paper, but I've just got paper stacked up, and nothing that I build ever requires the paper.
Is the wallpaper in it?
Oh, is there wallpaper?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what. Maybe because I never build that because they never ask for it. And I don't know if any of you guys have come across, one of the villagers wants corn stalks.
Yeah.
And it's like 150 preserves or something, or 200 preserves. And it's like I've got like 6.
What are preserves, like jam and
yeah, because didn't you know you could make corn stalks out of jam and jelly, and a little bit of wood. So I just bought. That's what I bought with my leaf tickets. I was like, well, I'm never going to get this many preserves, because usually the preserves are something where, like, as the final request for something, you'll get like 5 steel, 5 cotton, and 1 jar of preserves. I've never had the preserves money pot, but I can't really see myself like a month from now playing this game.
But you can in 29 days.
I don't know. I want to say I could stop now and probably I'll be okay. But there is that little Nintendo part of me that's just like, man, maybe I'll just pop in.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah.
Well, I'm still playing
it's like an
Miitomo
obligation.
after a year and a half.
Yeah. Are you still answering questions?
Yeah, barely, but the questions.
Yeah, it's like I'll if I hop in, I'll answer like the question of the day, change my outfit.
Well, it seems like they had a new question of the day every day for like over a year, but now I think they're finally repeating them now.
Yep.
So
yeah,
one of them was weird. It was like, what makes you dizzy? And I was like,
getting drunk and spinning around.
I said spinning around.
Smoking pot and drinking whiskey at the same time.
No, it's no. It's if you smoke
Okay.
after you drink. That's the problem.
Oh, okay. Whiskey before weed. I don't remember how that goes. Wait,
I was
weed
never
after whiskey, very risky.
I've never heard a good one. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Maybe
yeah. I've never really heard that with weed though. Just beer and whiskey. And I say it's all going to the same place.
That's just seeing it happen to people.
Yeah. Just try them both until you figure out which one makes you throw up.
Yeah, just keep going back and forth.
But yeah, so anyway, that's Pocket Camp, I guess. Was there anything before our big finale tonight?
Oh, Yooka-Laylee. It's got a release
that's
date
true.
finally.
And Z is a backer. Yeah.
I'm a backer, so I'm hoping, I'm hoping that they'll be cool and throw out our codes a couple days early. But I don't know how that all works with Nintendo. I don't know if they can. So we'll see. I probably just get it at the same time as everybody else.
It was very mediocrely received on other consoles, but from what I understand, they have tried to make some adjustments to the game. I don't know how much.
Yeah, from what I understand, they've addressed a lot of the initial launch gripes, which a lot of them were camera and some repetitive menu and UI things that they've now streamlined. So we'll see. I mean, it's also the thing that, from what I read, everyone said they stuck a little too close to the OG format. Like, there's not enough modernization going on other than it looks prettier. It's still like the same mechanics, like too much the same. Like, whereas, for example, when you play this Blaster Master Zero that came out around the time of Switch launch, and I heard it described once for some of these kind of remakes, is it plays as good as you remember the original game playing. But if you were to go back and actually play the original game, the controls sucked. Blaster Master, original Blaster Master, those controls were a little janky, but they worked and they weren't too bad. But if you play Blaster Master Zero, it's just smooth as butter, and it's like, you know what I mean? You think, this is that great old game, but it's
Blaster Master is one of those games that I never played back in the day. I mean, I probably had rented it a few times, but I heard such great things about it that I like eBayed it and bought it and was excited to play like this great classic that I've never beaten. And then I was just like, I couldn't get into it. So when Zero came out, I just for some reason couldn't get into it.
The only part to me was the top down
aspect
was a little kludgy, the controls for that. But that's one of the main things they really fixed in this new version. The control for that works really well. It was really awkward and very much like, how old Pokemon is based on like squares, each step you take or whatever. Sure. It felt that way. You could only shoot in one of four directions, no angles. It was messy.
Well, Yooka-Laylee, I haven't heard any bad stuff on. I've never, nobody's saying it's broken or anything like that. It's just people are saying, it's an okay game. Yeah, it's not
as awesome as everyone hoped.
Yeah.
There's
I
a
got
lot of
backer.
one and dones. People are always really optimistic for that stuff. And like it seems like Kickstarter projects, there's been a few that have done really, really well. But for the most part, there's
Well, it's right that Kickstarter is about generating buzz for something that doesn't exist.
yeah.
And that's the long and the short of it. So people get all fired up about something to the point that you get enough people to drop, like $1 million on development or more, and it's like,
I think Shovel Knight was a winner.
Yeah.
If you were in No Man's Sky, that was a big fail.
That's kind of the poster.
Hopefully that doesn't come to Switch.
Mighty Number 9. That's another one.
Mighty Number 9. I remember being a big.
Oh yeah.
I mentioned Bloodstained last week, and that one's kind of stuck in development hell where.
Yeah,
I think it was expected a few years ago.
I put money in on Bloodstained, and I'm still waiting. And I knew early on, like the Yooka-Laylee development team had pretty regular updates, and Bloodstained they're pretty rare, and they pretty much are. Oh, here's new character art.
Yeah, or apologies.
There haven't even really been much apologies. It just, here's more character art. Like, here, look at the progress we've made, and it's not much progress. Yeah.
But such is indie life.
Yeah.
It's like, but yeah, I think I read some interview with the guys from Yooka-Laylee, and they said that Nintendo has been excellent on supporting them and helping them optimize, and Unity has been great as well, helping them work on it. And so I'm glad that it's another one of those games that I'm glad it's coming because everybody else has it. It's just coming a little later.
Yeah, and it's only a little later because console launch and last minute change from Wii U kind of, it's a legitimate.
And they could say that because they've optimized it and added some things that, now they're putting out the best possible version.
Yeah, they're putting a nice definitive. But for the first year, I'm willing to forgive Switch for the first year for getting late ports. Right? Because that's just the nature of a new system.
Oh, right. Yeah. Now people know about it, so any indie stuff coming out in the future that's not,
or third party, right?
Yeah.
The AAA stuff is going to get closer and closer to parity, and eventually we'll just have it.
Maybe. That remains to be seen. I kind of feel like we won't get a ton of those.
I don't think we'll get a ton. I don't think we'll get
with
a
the
ton.
Wolfensteins and stuff.
Do we want a ton? I want
everything.
I don't want shovelware. You complain about the shovelware.
No, but I mean like AAA. I mean, I want whatever. I would love to see AAA stuff come, and that I don't think we're going to get a ton of.
You will. I'm certain you will have enough that you'll want to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, stuff that came out 5 years ago that I didn't.
We'll see some oddball. Well, no, I think we'll see some oddball flats that won't come here. We'll still see some percentage. I think more than 50% of anything that you would see a commercial for on television lists Switch as well.
Like Clash of Clans.
That'd be nice.
No, I just mean, for another console.
We'll see.
I think any of the big AAA multiplats, I think we'll get more than half of.
It'd be nice to see. Yeah, I'm interested to see what we end up getting. But Yooka-Laylee, pass. But you've got it either way.
Same here.
I'm getting it whether I like it or not.
Now, were you a big Banjo and Kazooie person? Did you?
For me, it was Donkey Kong 64 that I played to living death, and I poked around with Banjo Kazooie, and I poked around with Conker's Bad Fur Day, but I only got so far into each of those. But it was Donkey Kong 64 is the one that I just spent endless hours on, and it was great. Some people knock it, but
that one's had mixed reception, I think, as well.
I've had a hell of a time with that one.
But yeah, if you like Nintendo 64 style platformy kind of stuff, 3D games,
which is why I think I might like this better than your average gamer.
I hope so. Like I said, I think it'll do okay. At least any game that you've heard of before, I'm always happy when those come to the Switch. It's like, I've heard of Yooka-Laylee. So, Yuka and Laylee, or whatever. We'll see. And then I think
final topic.
Just one more tasty morsel.
Just one more tasty morsel. And that's, of course, Kellogg's is supposedly making a Super Mario cereal.
Yeah, and that's a rumor.
That's a rumor.
And from the box
Which
art, it looks a little
Kellogg
shady to
isn't
me.
denying.
It has
yeah.
supposedly been listed at stores like Target
Oh, really?
System, so
I didn't even see that. I know that Kellogg's has a relationship with Nintendo because I know that they make, from having a child, I know they make Mario Kart fruit snacks, and tons of other cartoon character fruit snacks. It seems weird to me that Nintendo is doing a promotion right now with Post cereal, and then they're going to release their own cereal with Kellogg's.
yeah, seems really odd too.
It's just like, pick a cereal
And then
company
next will
already.
be General Mills.
Yeah.
But
yeah, go ahead. There's a more interesting aspect here.
that's right. The seller here and what has everyone excited is that supposedly, from what I understand, is the sticker that will come inside of the box possibly will be usable as an amiibo for Super Mario. Whatever that last one was that came out.
Odyssey.
Thank you.
It's got game of the year.
Sorry, just totally drew a blank right
10
there.
out of 10. Yeah.
Not for me, but
Oh, it'll probably just be like a generic amiibo that gives you
clear some
what
space
is the
on your
generic
amiibo
one
shelf,
give you?
everybody. You're gonna have to put a box of cereal on there too now.
They'll give you the location of the next moon or whatever after 10 minutes.
I mean, the whole thing screams fake to me, but
Yeah.
it's one of those things that it's just stupid enough that Nintendo might do it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't believe it. It could happen.
and I should mention that someone at the podcast has reached out to Kellogg's, and Kellogg's has declined to comment.
is it or just didn't see it? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's like whatever. It's like the box art mock-up. As Z had pointed out, it's got the great line, naturally flavored with other natural flavors.
you would never see that.
Which it seems like when you get one of those emails from those Nigerian princes, and like the English just quite isn't right. It's like naturally flavored with other natural flavors, like natural flavoring. Yeah, the whole idea of, I mean, they could easily do a sticker as an amiibo that's just got an NFC chip in it. And the rumor Mills articles that I was reading was like, not every box is going to have this amiibo. It's going to be like a rare thing that you have to buy 20 boxes and maybe one of them will, or whatever.
Golden ticket.
God, those things are going to be on eBay if that's truly how they do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
They can't. They just can't.
Yeah.
They're like, we're going to sell a bunch of Cracker Jacks, and 1 in 3 will have a Cracker Jack prize in it. That still isn't that great, and requires that you have a certain game to even use it properly. And I bet you it's not going to do anything too amazing.
no.
Yeah.
It would be cool if it gave Mario a bowl of cereal to eat in the game.
That would be, I want that in Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. Oh.
or give you a different ending.
Yeah.
I guess we shouldn't put spoilers out. Right?
I think
well, that's true. We're doing it for Z, who's the last person on the planet that bought it near launch. That has not completed.
I'm getting it for Christmas.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, we've already ruined it for you, I think.
All right.
If you didn't know how the Mario game could possibly end.
Yeah.
If you've never played a Mario game before or heard of a Mario game before.
That's true.
That's true.
Which could also possibly ruin the plot of the Mario movie. But yeah, it's I don't know, we talked, was it last night? I think we were all kind of talking about the good old days of cereal and got into a little bit of Ralston bashing. So I was talking about all the awful cereals that I ate when I was a kid, like when the Michael Keaton Batman came out. There was this awful
Ninja Turtles
dog food, yeah, Ninja Turtles, which was like Chex with marshmallows.
Yeah.
It's like even marshmallows can't spice up Chex. But yeah, like all these horrible cereals, and then I was like, man, I think they were all made by the same company, and they were this Ralston company, and they made like if it had a cartoon character that you recognized from something other than a cereal box, it was made by Ralston. It's like they were all so awful. Although I forget what this one kind of harkens back to that, where it's from the mock-up that they had. It's like star flavor or star shaped berry cereal, and then there was like mushroom marshmallows, and
It looks like Lucky Charms.
Yeah, basically.
Except it'll be magically Mario.
Yeah, and I think it said berry flavor, so there's something too. I mean, we're all gonna buy a box if it's real.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
Yep.
I don't know if is this kind of thing just promotion? Like, is that all that is? Because they're not. I doubt they're looking to make this the next like major cereal. There's probably not a ton of new cereal brands that are launching that we're gonna have Super Mario cereal in 20 years still. So I guess it's
I guess
because that's the only thing that seems real to me is the fact that if it is real, it's like classic Nintendo like mistimed promotion. Like there's a cereal eventually coming out after the games come out with an amiibo that you're going to get for a game that you're already done playing. Just like how those Breath of the Wild news things give us crap like fish and apples for a game that we completed 7 months ago.
I guess the real question is, since it does have the word amiibo, will there be scarcity? Will these boxes be very limited quantity?
You'll be calling your grocery store every day, like, "Hey, do you have that Super Mario?" And they're like, "Didn't you just call?" And you're like, "No, that was somebody else."
We got 2 boxes this morning, and there were 50 people lined up.
Yeah, people were lined up. Yeah, you start asking the people you know. I bet Eric's going to get one for sure. Eric, use your connections to feel out. Talk with whoever your buyer is and see if he can stick his nose around and see if there's any validity to this Mario cereal business. Tell him you've heard a lot of customers requesting this Super Mario cereal, but you couldn't find it on your shelf.
Hilarious.
Really, put the bloodhounds on this one. See what you get.
It's an official quote that we can use in the podcast.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta. Yeah, if anyone's gonna have a good shot, because Kellogg's did not reply to me when I tweeted at them. Which I like. That's the best thing about Twitter, by the way, is that you can just, no matter how big or famous somebody is or a corporation is, you can just be like, "Hey, you're a jerk, Mr. President," or "Hey, Kellogg's, what's up with this? Hey, Bugles. Max got a bunch of flat bugles. She can't wear these on her fingers."
I think airlines always respond to you though. So
they
airline.
I know. I follow comedian Doug Stanhope on Twitter, and he's always tweeting at Delta Airlines, and they're always replying back to him. Some people do. I mean, a lot of companies take that stuff really seriously, and they will, respond to everything. They've got a team of people handling social media and take it very seriously.
Some of them are.
It's not.
Yeah.
Nintendo either has 3 people, maybe. I mean, I'm sure a lot of them probably do. Like I said, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like those poor guys. Anytime Nintendo posts anything and you go to their Twitter, it's nothing but people complaining. I mean, they could be like, "Hey, there's a new Xenoblade coming out." And they'll be like, "When's Mother 3 coming?" It's like,
and Nintendo never responds. You said I believe they're listening,
I don't
but
think so.
They never respond to.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Twitter
they know what's going on. They pick and choose because somebody every now and if it's like an official, like if Bethesda's like, hey, Doom's coming out today, they'll retweet it and stuff. So somebody's picking and choosing the right stuff. But I'm sure as many tweets as they probably get tweeted at them angrily and complaining and nonsensical. It's got to be hard to respond to everyone. But I don't expect that Kellogg's cares. We know that they'll announce it in time. Just like Nintendo. Reggie probably said, we've got a certain way we want to roll this out. Those details will come in time, just like the online and everything else. Who here can I put you down for a box?
Yeah.
Everybody? One box? Z, did you get the Post cereal? I don't know if you bought a box of that. Or Max, did you get one?
No, I didn't. I always forget to look.
No. Let us down. I think everybody else went out and did our Nintendo duty and bought it. So
that's right.
I'll probably try this out. But if you look online at the mock-up of that box, it does look really fake. Here's the only thing that sort of will sell you a little bit, and it's not that hard to fake, but it's unique art that you haven't seen before. Like as far as of Mario, it looks like an official Mario rendering, but he's in like a position that you've not seen before. Like I think he's even eating cereal. He might even have a spoon with him. Because sometimes that can be a giveaway. Because like it's easy to spot fake crap where you're like, oh, that's just the same art from this thing with Mario.
Yeah.
You guys stole this from the My Nintendo side, or you guys stole this from this box art.
Of course, it's like recycling.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, I noticed I've seen tons of arcade badges recycled. In fact, the champion amiibo were all in Badge Arcade before they announced that they were amiibo. It's the exact same poses and everything. So, I mean, they just had them as art, but I've noticed like some of the Mario and Luigi stuff I've seen reused in other places by Nintendo. So, whatever. Yeah, that's definitely a weird thing that is out of nowhere, and I'm just like, I don't understand, but I don't have to understand, I guess. They're still making Mario Kart fruit snacks. I guess they can promote Mario Kart 8 with those, maybe. Yeah, I think we're out.
Yep, I think we've wound down.
I think we've said everything we can say about cereal in any kind of capacity, especially when it's an unconfirmed cereal. Although, if it was confirmed, I don't think we could say a whole lot more.
How many people have bought a box, or how many people have found an amiibo?
Yeah, well, that'll be the fun thing. Like they probably would do that on purpose, though, just so people could complain about it. That'd get the word out. Did you hear about this? You hear these scalpers selling boxes of cereal on eBay for $20 a pop? In hopes that it might have an amiibo sticker in it? Get out of here, Nintendo.
And you know if they make those where you can scan them through the...
They'll have a chip. They'll have what do you call those?
The little piece of paper in there. I was thinking like the RFID blocker in it.
Yeah.
Like they put in the amiibo, so you can't buy the box and return it.
Yeah.
Take your Switch to the store and.
Well, that's what I think Z was saying. That he was like, you could just take your Switch to the store, and maybe they'll make sure it's just perfectly in there. Maybe Can you imagine if you open up that box of cereal and there really is like some sort of lining inside the box to block it? That'd be genius. But I wouldn't put it past them.
Probably in a little package just wrapped in that special coating.
But I'll bet you people who work at the stores will say, oh, you brought your Switch into the store so you could scan the box of cereal. You're like the 10th person to do that.
Switch will get a ban from the grocery stores.
Well, that'll be the new thing. No Switch on airplanes, no Switch in grocery stores. like I said, I can't imagine that whatever they have will be that desirable. It certainly couldn't be more desirable than the awesome stuff you get out of the Bowser and Peach and Mario amiibos, which is not much.
Yeah, it actually is pretty good.
I mean, you can put Mario into Peach's dress, right? I think that's one of the unlocks.
Oh, for the one of the outfits. I haven't tried that yet. I just got the.
I think.
All right. Oh yeah, I think I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta try that.
Nintendo's all about the cross-dressing recently.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild and now this.
It started with Triforce Heroes, though.
Yeah. Cheerleader Link. Well, there was they actually had the proper Linkle in Hyrule Warriors, right?
Right.
Which has never been heard from again. Maybe they'll do Linkle's Quest or something. They'll give her own game.
The Year of Linkle.
Style savvy Linkle. All right. This is nonsense.
Yeah. Yes, definitely think it's time to close up here. So, if you're planning to buy a box of cereal, you can always find us here on YouTube where we're recording. Find us at NOA Podcast on Twitter, and of course on Stitcher and iTunes. So let us know. You want this cereal to be real? I mean, who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Yeah.
Well, have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.